मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
It's our great pleasure to have the Vice President here with us, and I would like to invite our Editor-in-Chief, Sanjay Pugalia, to address the gathering.
Thank you. भारत के उपराष्ट्रपति आदरणीय जगदीप धनखड़ जी और यहाँ उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथिगण, आप सबों का बहुत बहुत हार्दिक स्वागत है। एनडीटीवी इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर कई वर्षों के बाद रीलॉन्च हो रहा है और एक नई चमक दमक और एक नई परिभाषा के साथ ये सामने आने की कोशिश कर रहा है, जिसमें हम उन भारतीयों को जो कि ग्रास रूट से लेके अंतरिक्ष तक काम करते हैं, कमाल करते हैं, छलांगे लगाते हैं, उनका सम्मान कर सकें और उनके प्रति अपनी देश की एनडीटीवी के दर्शकों की कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित कर सकें। आपने हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला उपराष्ट्रपति जी, इसके लिए आपका बहुत धन्यवाद। और हमारे लिए ये बहुत अहम घड़ी इसीलिए है कि जब से एनडीटीवी का नया प्रबंधन हमने संभाला, उसके बाद से 2 चैनल के बाद हम अब 5 चैनल के एक नेटवर्क बन गए हैं, करीबन 7 हमारी वेबसाइट है और ये हमारा फ्लैगशिप इवेंट वापस शुरू हो रहा है आपकी मौजूदगी में, आपके सानिध्य में। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है हमारे लिए। जगदीप धनखड़ साहब का जो एक बायोडेटा होता है, अगर मैं उसमें न भी जाऊं तो 2-3 बातें बड़ी उल्लेखनीय हैं और जो इनको नज़दीक से जानते हैं उनको इस बात का काफ़ी अंदाज है। उनको पता है कि पिछले 34 साल से मैं इनका जैसे ऑब्जर्वर रहा हूं तो ये देखता हूं कि इनकी विद्वता न सिर्फ संविधान या कानून के क्षेत्र में या रूल ऑफ लॉ को किस तरीके से गार्ड करना, उसमें इनका जो एक रेबेलियस अप्रोच है, उसके लिए सब लोग, पूरा जुडिशियल सिस्टम, पूरी लीगल फ्रेटर्निटी इनकी तरफ देखती है और इनसे समझना और सीखना चाहती है। सबसे कम उम्र में सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सीनियर एडवोकेट बने थे और इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन में बहुत सक्रिय सदस्य के रूप में वर्षों तक उसमें काम करते रहे। उन राजनीतिज्ञों में से हैं जो ग्रास रूट से आते हैं, लेकिन कम उम्र में एमएलए बने, फिर एमपी बने, फिर मंत्री बने, फिर गवर्नर बने और अब उपराष्ट्रपति और राज्यसभा के सभापति हैं। और इन 2 पदों में, जो पिछले 2 पद हैं, अभी वाला और गवर्नर वाला पद, उसमें हम लोगों ने ये देखा है कि इन्होंने इन दोनों दफ्तरों को, इन ऑफिसेस को रीडिफाइन कर दिया है, एक नया आयाम दे दिया है। जो लोग नजदीक से जानते हैं वो ये भी जानते हैं कि विट और विजडम के ये महासागर हैं। जिनको भी इनसे इंटरेक्ट करने का मौका मिला है वो इनके विट से या तो प्रशंसित हुआ है या उसका शिकार हुआ है। यही कह करके इनका परिचय मैं यहाँ समाप्त करना चाहूंगा और फिर से कहना चाहूंगा कि आप हमारे लिए आज यहाँ पर आए हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Thank you for that introduction. Vishnu.
Well, it is, as I mentioned, a big day for NDTV. It's the NDTV Indian of the Year event. It's back since 2005 was when we actually launched it, but it's back this year. 2005 was the first ever NDTV of Indian of the Year event. The event has become synonymous with recognizing those Indians, individuals, organizations, and institutions who've contributed to the idea and identity of India in one way or the other, whose contributions to the country have strengthened the foundation of our society. The awards have recognized the unsung hero in the same breath as the most celebrated people. Our focus has always been on exceptional work. NDTV has truly been the grandest stage to honor extraordinary Indians since 2005. And it is to honor extraordinary work that we gather once again to celebrate the Indian of the Year.
द इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर में एक बार फिर इकट्ठा होकर हम सबको बहुत गर्व है, बहुत खुशी है। इस अवार्ड ने न सिर्फ उन्हें सम्मानित किया है जो जाने माने हैं, जिनको हम सब जानते हैं, जिन्हें दुनिया पहचानती है, बल्कि उनको भी पुरस्कृत किया जो कहीं गुमनाम रहते हुए बेहतरीन काम करते रहे पर्दे के पीछे, जिनके काम को सामने लाना हमारी जिम्मेदारी थी। आर अनसंग हीरोज, हमारा मकसद रहता है बेहतरीन काम को पहचान देना। 2005 से एनडीटीवी वो सबसे बड़ा मंच बना जहां हम इन भारतीयों को सम्मानित करते रहे हैं, और ये हमारे लिए आज बहुत गर्व का पल है कि हम एक बार फिर इकट्ठा हुए हैं इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर का उत्सव मनाने।
We are delighted to be partnering with Poonawalla FinCorp, co-powered by Ambuja Cement and ACC, our associate sponsors, Darwin Platform Group of companies, and Games 24/7, and our special partner, Motorola. We thank them very much for being a part of this wonderful occasion.
You are aware that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much for giving this award to me. It feels great.
I'm honored to receive this prestigious award.
This is a rare privilege.
Really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
This is one of the few moments I'm going to be humble, so please record this properly, guys. I'm grateful to the people and to your channel.
The award for NDTV Indian of the Year goes to.
ये थी एक झलक इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर की अब तक, और हम शुरुआत करते हैं आज के इस कार्यक्रम का। हमारी पहली कैटेगरी है अवार्ड्स की जो बेहद खास है, इंडिया फर्स्ट अवार्ड। इंडिया फर्स्ट अवार्ड वो पुरस्कार है जो उन्हें दिया जाता है जिन्होंने देश को आगे रखा, देश के हित को सबसे आगे रखा और विश्व पटल पर दुनिया के सामने देश का नाम रोशन किया।
2023 has been an incredible year for India and Indian foreign policy, a policy which merges India's economic and social agenda with an international vision which reinforces our standing as a trusted and committed partner of nations around the world. India's focus is clearly India first, which means independence in our thinking and a quiet determination not to be drawn to any blocks or power centers. I'd like to call upon Sanjay ji to actually open the envelope and start the proceedings in naming our first award of the evening.
India First Award, Shri Amitabh Kant.
Amitabh Kant is India's G20 Sherpa. He played a pivotal role during India's presidency last year. Mr. Kant is a governance reformer and a public policy change agent for India, having driven policy reforms in our country and been involved in initiatives such as the Niti Aayog and so much more.
इनको श्रेय जाता है स्टार्टअप इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया, इनक्रेडिबल इंडिया जैसे लोकप्रिय और कामयाब इनिशिएटिव्स का। इन्हें कामयाबी दिलाने के पीछे हैं श्री अमिताभ कांत। केरला, गॉड्स ओन कंट्री और एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम को साकार करने में भी ड्राइविंग सीट में रहे श्री अमिताभ कांत। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका अमिताभ कांत जी, बहुत शुक्रिया। और अगली कैटेगरी, जो अगली श्रेणी है अवार्ड्स की, वो है हेल्थ लीडर ऑफ द ईयर, यानी कि स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में अभूतपूर्व और अनोखा योगदान जिन्होंने दिया है उन्हें पुरस्कृत करने की बारी है। इंसानियत की निस्वार्थ सेवा के साथ इस क्षेत्र में लीडरशिप देने वाले को सम्मानित करने की बारी है।
Nagma, in this category, we honor those who've made groundbreaking contributions to protecting and promoting health, we acknowledge the lifelong dedication and selfless service of humanity that such leadership clearly demands. May I request Sanjay to announce the name of the winner.
Health Leader of the Year, Dr. Yazdi Italia.
जाने माने माइक्रोबायोलॉजिस्ट पद्मश्री डॉक्टर यज़दी इटालिया, जिन्होंने सिकल सेल अनीमिया बीमारी के खिलाफ 2 दशक से एक जंग छेड़ी है। गुजरात की जनजातियों को इस बीमारी से बाहर लाने की उन्होंने अथक कोशिश की है और ये कोशिश उनकी जारी है। ये उनका डेडिकेशन है जो कि सिर्फ अवेयरनेस कैंपेन से आगे बढ़ा है।
Dr. Italia has dedicated his life to fighting sickle cell anemia. His life-serving work and tireless efforts have contributed to the government's mission of eliminating sickle cell anemia by 2047. His leadership has not only saved countless lives, but also brought national recognition to the plight of tribal communities battling sickle cell anemia. Earlier this year, he was honored with the Padma Shri.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और अगली कैटेगरी लाइफ इन इंडिया अवार्ड, यानी पर्यावरण के अनुकूल जीवन शैली यानी लाइफ। प्रधानमंत्री ने COP26 में इस विचार को सामने रखा और जिससे हर व्यक्ति को प्रो प्लैनेट यानी प्लैनेट के भले के लिए कुछ करने को प्रोत्साहित किया जाता है।
Life or lifestyle for environment, that's what it stands for. It's a public movement to mobilize individuals to become pro-planet people. Our next award, the Life in India Award, recognizes those people who are doing their bit to fight climate change through sustainable lifestyles and community engagement. Once again, Sanjay ji has the privilege of opening up the envelope and announcing this very, very important honor.
The Life in India Award goes to Meenakshi Gadke.
Meenakshi Gadge has turned Mukra into a model village for 408 gram panchayats in the state. The vermicomposting of their waste earns them revenues through the sale of fertilizer to other villages. The profits have been used to install 2 rooftop solar grids that are enough to make the village energy self-sufficient.
मुखरा गांव जो है विष्णु, उसमें वेस्ट सेग्रीगेशन से गांव ने 7 लाख रुपए कमाए और इन्होंने चीफ मिनिस्टर रिलीफ फंड में 1 लाख डोनेट किया। मीनाक्षी जी also has roped in the community to plant 1 lakh fruit-bearing trees on the roadside and promoted the use of eco-friendly cutlery in weddings, amongst her other initiatives. That's a commendable work that Meenakshi ji has been doing. A big round of applause for her.
The development of Indian science, new ideas, often new engineering and solutions are now increasingly being seen around the world as being world-class in India. From pharmaceuticals to space, cutting-edge research, the bedrock of science is being encouraged. But while so much more needs to be done to encourage genuine research, it is time to honor some of our great science champions.
बिल्कुल वक्त है कि हम अपने वैज्ञानिकों को सम्मानित करें। विज्ञान की दुनिया में नई ऊंचाइयां छूने वालों को सम्मानित करती है हमारी अगली श्रेणी, साइंस आइकॉन ऑफ द ईयर। और संजय जी से गुजारिश है कि वो एनवेलप खोल के विनर का नाम अनाउंस करें।
Science Icons of the Year, M. Shrikant, R.P. Veera Muthuvel, K. Kalpana, Nigar Shaji.
The year 2023 will undoubtedly go down in history as the year when India's space agency demonstrated incredible prowess and resilience in the face of challenges. The pinnacle of ISRO's achievements in 2023 was the successful first ever soft landing of Chandrayaan-3 near the moon's uncharted southern polar region and India's first solar mission Aditya L1 in September.
और आदित्य L1 चंद्रयान 3 के साउथ पोल पर लैंड करना और इसके राह में आने वाली जो तमाम चुनौतियां थी उनको बिना रुके बिना झुके पार करने के पीछे जो चेहरे हैं उनमें से कुछ चेहरे यहाँ पर हैं इस कामयाबी का के जो रचनाकार हैं वो ये हैं डॉक्टर शाहजी, डॉक्टर वीरा मुथुवल, डॉक्टर कल्पना और डॉक्टर श्रीकांत। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप सबका। गुजारिश है कि आप अपनी अपनी जगह लें और अगली कैटेगरी जो है, अगली श्रेणी जो अवार्ड्स की है विष्णु, वो है बिजनेस लीडर ऑफ द ईयर अवार्ड।
The Indian of the Year Awards honoring business leaders comes at a time when India's economy is truly a shining star among nations around the world, an outlier, if you will, a beacon of hope. Our business leaders have added immensely to the India story by sustaining innovation and development, embracing technology and best practices.
बिल्कुल, और ये वो कैटेगरी है जो अवार्ड है वो दिया जाता है ऐसे बिजनेस लीडर को, ऐसे नेतृत्व के लिए जो लगातार बिजनेस के क्षेत्र में इनोवेशन और डेवलपमेंट लेकर सामने आते रहे हों।
Once again, can I ask Sanjay to actually invite, to open up the envelope and to invite the recipient.
Business Leader of the Year award goes to N. Chandrasekharan.
And to receive the award on behalf of Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, the chairperson of Tata Sons, we have a wonderful guest we'd like to invite on stage, K. Krithivasan, MD and CEO of TCS. Tata Sons chairperson N. Chandrasekharan is one of India's business icons. Under his leadership, 2023 has been a transformative year for the Tata Group.
Absolutely. The group's footprint in the consumer business has grown exponentially, and the combined market capitalization of the Tata Group companies increased nearly double the rate of the Sensex.
Mr. Chandrasekharan has sent us this very special message.
Ndtv for selecting me for this honor. The Tata Group has been going through a significant transformation over the last few years. All Tata companies have embraced the megatrends of artificial intelligence and energy transition. We also fully recognize the need for a global, resilient supply chain and India's role in creating that resilient supply chain. The Tata Group is spearheading this movement and has committed itself by making significant investments and foray into such sectors. Apart from our traditional sectors and the companies that we have been running for several years, recently we have pivoted towards electric vehicle mobility, new energy in wind and solar, and we announced our first semiconductor fab, India's first, in Dholera recently. We are also creating the first indigenous assembly unit for semiconductors in Assam. The group has also forayed into batteries, and we are building a lithium-ion battery facility for 20 gigawatts in Sonam. The group also is producing the technology for 5G and beyond. All of this is possible because of the 1 million employees today we have. It is their ambition, hard work, and energy that is making it possible. So this award belongs to all of them. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Government of India under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has made development as a key focus and thereby driving economic growth and improve the quality of life for all citizens. The group is seized of this opportunity and has pivoted very decisively in India. Once again, I want to thank NDTV and wish NDTV all the very best for this year and for the years to come.
ये थे एन चंद्रशेखरन और बहुत बहुत बधाई इनको इस सम्मान के लिए। अब मैं आग्रह करूंगी माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति से कि वो आप सबको संबोधित करें। आग्रह करूंगी कि वो आपके अपने संबोधन के लिए आएं।
Good evening, all of you. I'll start with a disclaimer. I know Sanjay Pugalia now for 40 years. I have seen his transition from Hindi print media to English print media. I have seen his transition from print media to television. I know the entire family too well. So please, the sentiments he expressed should be taken with a pinch of salt. I say so, otherwise there may be many caveats. We have in the audience, apart from the awardees, very distinguished people. I need to make reference to them. Former Chairman SEBI, UK Sinha ji, a remarkable human being, brought expertise to his job. Sri Gopal Jain, a distinguished senior advocate, well educated and doing a good job. I know Sushil Rungta, former Chairman SAIL, for 58 years. His presence compromises my ability to address you, but I'll pick up some courage. Then coming to Padma Vibhushan, the one and the only one, Amjad Ali Khan ji. Sir, you are a source of inspiration, source of motivation, and the handicaps I suffer because of presence of others are more than neutralized by you. Though Mr. Amitabh Kant is an awardee, but I came to learn about Mr. Amitabh Kant when I was Governor of State of West Bengal. People remember me because Mamta ji was Chief Minister there. But I remember my tenure also, apart from Mamta ji, Mr. Amitabh Kant. And I'll tell you why. I was heading a group of 10 governors. We had to formulate a policy of ease of governance. He was then in Niti Aayog, a remarkable human being, very innovative, result-oriented, and his contribution helped me greatly on behalf of other 9 governors to formulate a good report. But then we tend to forget. Well, let us go to 2023. He was involved with an assignment that had potential fault lines that could have compromised his career. Organizing G20 was not easy. Organizing P20 was not easy. He came out with sparkling colors. There was no hiccup anywhere. India was recognized globally that we organized P20 so successfully, it became a role model for others. I know him. Well, this is an age where you must not ignore the younger generation. Doesn't matter if he happens to be son of your friend, Mr. Vipul Rungta. He has made his mark in his own right. I know him since birth. I look up to him on issues that matter greatly. And last, not least, I was elected to Parliament in 1989. Mr. K.C. Tyagi, I came to know him, and ever since then, we have been in touch. K.C. Tyagi brings in politics a fresh air. He is antidote to adversarial behavior. He has no enemies in politics. I have admired him on numerous occasions. We were in the same political party. When I had the good fortune to be a minister, the first thing I told him, you deserved it. I got it by accident. Friends, it is a delightful moment for me to be part of NDTV's Indian of the Year event. I'm still wondering why they stopped it in 2015. I was part of governance in 1989. That was beginning of coalition governance. We had more than 20 parties. I was a junior parliamentary affairs minister. In 2014, after 3 decades, the country came to have single party majority. I thought it was a good occasion in 2015 to continue the program. Thereafter, it was not. But I'm happy and delighted it is back on the rails. And in a lighter vein, so is our Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity. We are back on rails. Warmest greetings and wishes to all for a joyous and colorful Holi. This is going to be very different because we never imagined, at least me and Mr. Tyagin, in 1989 to 91. We had to suffer the pain that to sustain our financial credibility, physical gold of this country had to be airlifted to be placed to 2 Swiss banks. And now I am told there may be a week where foreign exchange addition may be more than 6 billion. And it is now over 600 billion in total. So we face those changes. My congratulations to distinguished awardees. I can tell you, all of them have earned it. They well deserved of it. And when you have an award like this, then awardees become a source of inspiration and motivation for many others. It carries a stamp of credibility. Something that happened with respect to our civilian awards, Padma Awards. If an award is driven by patronage, if iconic status is generated by event management, then it doesn't have acceptability. I congratulate the jury for having chosen people who have really contributed to the growth, rise of this country. This award will inspire many to join our marathon march for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. Friends, the reverberation of Viksit Bharat is palpable in every corner of our great nation today. It is more than just a call to leapfrog into the future. It is a definite promise. It's a firm promise that in 2047, we will be a developed nation, meaning thereby none will be left behind. The development in this country in last decade has been plateau, not pyramidal. The benefit has accrued to one and all, and in every nook and corner of the country. Recent years have been a testament to India's journey from fragile 5 economies in the world. Fragile 5. We had the good fortune to be in the big 5, leaving behind Canada, UK, and France. It is a matter of time, and I can say less than 2 years, the country will be big 3 economies of the world, ahead of Germany and Japan. So our Amrit Kal, which from every consideration is our Gaurav Kal, in a sense, laying foundation for a developed nation in 2047. National mood in the country is one of hope and possibility. And why not? We have seen unprecedented economic rise. Those who claim to know economy, who were part of dispensation, and who thought and put it in public domain that rise will not be more than 5.5%, did not respond when the rise was over 7.5%. Then we have exponential infrastructure growth that is envied by the world. Bharat Mandapam, Yashobhumi, new building of parliament, our expressways. Just imagine where we are. Even from a global benchmark, we are in big league. Then, well spread out digital penetration. The benefit is available in the village. In tier 2 cities, people are reaching to a level where they never imagined. They are reaping dividends of it. And then upsurge and emergence of new vistas and opportunities. Our young people today have an ecosystem where they can exploit their energy and talent, their potential, and realize their aspirations and dreams. Affirmative governance has made it possible. Friends, when we look at the world affairs, India's image was never that high, and it is rising. G20 will be remembered for epochal accomplishments. African Union became a member of G20. India became voice of Global South. I can keep on going. Many achievements were there. The entire world witnessed 5,000-old civilizational culture of this country. This is where we are. India in the world is the only constitutionally structured democracy that is at all levels, at the village level, at the municipal level, at the state level, at the central level. We have a robust judicial system. In such a situation, we are obvious, I emphasize, India is obvious pacemaker for global peace and harmony. Friends and Mr. Sanjay Pugalia, in such a scenario, media is eminently suited to be an agent to convey right perspectives, to understand India, rather than be prey to orchestrated narratives seeking to taint, tarnish, and demean our image and institutions. It is something which media needs to reflect and take proactive steps. Democratic values optimally blossom and flourish when there is equality before law, when there is accountable and transparent governance, where patronage, nepotism, and favoritism have no space. There was a time when these three pernicious tendencies dominated our working. But that, soothingly, is a matter of the past. Privilege pedigree has disappeared. Equality before law is writing on the wall. Those who thought they are immune to law, they are above law, they are different than others, have realized it to their pain. What can be greater pain to a human soul? Young boy and girl living in the largest democracy, that some people are more equal than others. They are more privileged. That system has gone. In the process, morale of our youth has gone up. Friends, global institutions earlier used to treat us the way they treat our neighbors and other countries. Get into reformist mode, take care of your economy. You need to understand this kind of working. What a big change. All global institutions without exception are praising India, applauding our growth, recognizing our historic achievements. Take any area, IMF, they say we are a bright star in global economy. We are favorite destination of investment and opportunity. World Economic Forum has expressed confidence that India will be a developed nation in 2047. India is at the cusp of immense possibilities. It is no longer a nation with a potential or a sleeping giant. It is on the rise. The rise is unstoppable. The rise is incremental. And the growth story transcends beyond skeptics. All this is because the country has affirmative governance policies, visionary leadership, a determined leadership that sees nothing but execution. And the execution is in the shortest time and a ground reality. Inclusive development with unwavering perseverance. Just imagine if these steps had not been taken, where would have been today? Look at the pandemic COVID. But earlier to that, there was a massive banking inclusion. Can you imagine 500 new bank accounts? People have not seen a bank. They thought it was difficult for them to have an account. They had. I don't wish to go to other social parameters, like every house has a gas connection, a fresh water tap, it has or it is on way to getting it, a toilet. Every village has a center where you can ensure delivery. Lines have disappeared. There was a time people used to take छुट्टी. I'm sure अमिताभ कांत जी, you must have felt it. आज मुझे छुट्टी लेनी है क्योंकि मुझे बिजली का बिल जमा कराना है. आज मुझे छुट्टी लेनी है कि पासपोर्ट की एप्लीकेशन देनी है. We have transformed. We are in the big league of nations that have availed technology for rendering services. And this has contributed massively to transparent, accountable governance. India, friends, and media in particular needs to take note of it. We are amongst few countries in single digit that are extremely alive to the power of disruptive technologies. Our quantum computing commission is in place. Green hydrogen mission. Allocation has been made of 6,000 crore for the earlier one, 19,000 crore for the second one. In artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, our focus is there. Gone are the days when we used to wait that technology will be developed in the West. We will be in the queue to get it. They will decide how much we get it. Circle is complete. India is now epicenter. India leads in harnessing these technologies. Media in such a scenario is an important factor, a great stakeholder in promoting these affirmative changes. It can contribute massively in building great Bharat, a Bharat of our dreams, foundation of which has been laid down in Amrit Kal. No nation, and now I'm coming to what media needs to do according to my perspective. No nation can grow without unflinching, steadfast, emanating from heart commitment to its nationalism and culture in all its facets. The spirit of nationalism must be deeply embedded in our thought process. How can we countenance some people compromising our nationalism? I appeal to media through you. You are an important media house. Economic nationalism is quintessentially fundamental to growth. If Bharat practices economic nationalism, just imagine we will save in billions drain of foreign exchange. Correspondingly, employment will be generated here. Entrepreneurship will blossom. If industry, commerce, and business decide the raw material will not leave our shores, there will be value addition. Things will go a long way. Media can do a great job. Media has a cutting role in imbibing the spirit of economic nationalism. Let me tell you, and everyone will agree with me, no fiscal gain can justify compromise of economic nationalism. We should not import an item which is available in the country. We need to subscribe to Swdeshi, vocal for local. The moment we get an item manufactured in this country from outside, we do it only for fiscal gain. We must not yield to this temptation. Media today shapes public opinion, disseminates information, and wields influence over social discourse. It is main pillar of society and country. As fourth pillar of democracy, media credibility lies solely within its own control. It should be effective, and there ought to be no hindrance in its way while upholding high standards. Its smooth functioning is a collective responsibility shared by media, government, and society. Friends, media serves its cause best by being objective and not getting involved in politics. We know the ground reality. I will not reflect more on it. It should take all care and precaution so as not to become a battleground for partisan politics. Media cannot be a platform for free fall of untenable information. It damages our democratic fabric. It shatters individual reputations. It destroys institutions. If you start floating information without due diligence, it can wreck our economy, social fabric. How can we have a vibrant, robust democracy like ours that media will give wings to any kind of misinformation? It has to be neutralized, and that I'm sure media should be doing. We are living in times where public is extremely aware. Informed public is the spinal strength of democracy. Misinformation can be ruinous. Media is a natural watchdog to contain and curb such free fall of misinformation and falsehood. If media does not do it, then who will do it? There is urgent need for media and media houses to reflect and have a mechanism in this direction. Fearless, informed, independent media is the safest assurance to nurturing democracy. Let me tell you, I'll make one reference only. Citizen Amendment Act. Debate is taking place. It is in high decibel. It is orchestrated. And situation is crystal clear. Citizen Amendment Act does not deprive any Indian citizen of his or her citizenship. Citizen Amendment Act does not entitle any man or a woman presently living outside the country to get its benefit. Citizen Amendment Act is a reprieve to those persecuted who are in this country for more than a decade, and there are several decades also for some. Now, if you go by ethos, India has been a sanctuary, a place for those who have been persecuted over centuries. And an impression is generated differently. Media in such a situation has to play its role. Why role is not being played in proper perspective? Because partisan alignments. It is good to speak from a platform that media's ethics is this, but people practice it. I'll be quoting more trouble if I get into more details. And a smile by Mr. Amitabh Kant says that it is good to be discreet on occasions. Media cannot be a registered, recognized, or unrecognized political party. Media has to do its job. We saw a decade ago some people in the media leveraged decision making of a high caliber. It went to the extent of positioning in the cabinet, in the government. Media should not be a power broker. Media has only to do its job. Fourth pillar of democracy is also accountable. I appeal to everyone in the media. We are having a Bharat today, home to 1/6 of humanity. The world is looking at us. The world is looking at us with hope, optimism, and confidence that Bharat is a stabilizing force. We have a visionary Prime Minister who has been invited by both the parties to a conflagration. We are vindicating our age-old ethos of peace and harmony. I am sure media will engage into self-regulation. I will appeal to media in particular. Our young journalists in the villages, in tier 2 towns, in states are doing a great job. They are excellent. They are human resource of unrivaled nature. India has a large category of veteran journalists. This group constitutes a global think tank. By and large, our journalists are ethically oriented. They are passionate about their work. When everything is right, how can pudding be spoiled by some? And that media should come forward by your self-regulation. Friends, tonight we came together to recognize the Indian of the Year. And I can tell you each one of them merits it. Let us not only applaud their achievements, but also recommit ourselves to the values they represent: integrity, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Let me tell you, it is not easy to be Indian of the Year. If you are doing outstandingly well, your peers are not kind to you. They will be epicenter to handicap your working through several ways. You can be collaterally damaged. If in such a scenario and challenge, if people have performed, it is our national duty to applaud them, praise them. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Ndtv, for providing a platform to shine a spotlight on these remarkable individuals and organizations. Together, let us continue to build a stronger, more prosperous, and more inclusive India. And I can tell you, in conclusion, we are proud of our institutions. Executive, the world recognizes India's executive prowess, led by Shri Narendra Modi. The world recognizes power of our Indian judiciary, robust, effective, expeditious, independent. The world recognizes power of our legislature in states and in parliament. I therefore appeal to the fourth pillar of democracy that is performing well, but to come to that level, to be in sync, to ensure that marathon march of every Bharatiya, marathon march for Bharatiya 2047 succeeds beyond our imagination. Thank you so much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका सर। और मैं एक बार आग्रह करना चाहूँगी हमारे तमाम अवार्ड विनर्स, तमाम उन लोगों से जिनको पुरस्कृत किया गया है कि आप मंच पर आएं एक तस्वीर के लिए। उपराष्ट्रपति
award winners who have been honored so far come onto the stage for a photograph and a final sort of meeting with the Vice President. Come, please. You are all our real heroes this evening. A big round of applause for all of those who've been honored so far by the Vice President of India.
Thank you. Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Very big congratulations.
Once again. Ladies and gentlemen, may I take this occasion to request you to once again please rise for the national anthem of India.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to keep remaining seated as Sanjay ji escorts the Vice President of India out of this hall. There's a lot more on Indian of the Year coming up, more awards for some of India's finest. So do stay seated as we carry on with this ceremony. Wonderful conversations as well coming up. Our colleague Gargi Rawat up next.
A very warm welcome once again to all of you. the NDTV Indian of the Year. And this year, the evening is all about celebrating and honoring women. Everyday women, working women, women in leadership roles, women who run homes and care for their families, women breaking gender stereotypes. What these women do every single day gives a big push for women to be granted equal and a full voice, participation and leadership everywhere and in every aspect. And that is what we celebrate tonight. In 2023, the women of India excelled in every field, from boardrooms to playgrounds, from villages to space centers as well, and from health centers to the parliament. And we are very lucky to have many of these remarkable women with us here today. We will be introducing them through the evening, and we start with the trailblazing banker who shattered glass ceilings, one of India's most renowned women leaders, Naina Lal Kidwai. Naina Lal Kidwai has several firsts to her name. She was the first Indian woman to get an MBA from Harvard in 1982, the first woman president of FICCI, and the first woman to head a foreign bank's operation in India. She started her career at a time when there were very few women in boardrooms, and she had to overcome gender biases on many levels, and thereby establishing clearer paths for other women. She established herself as a formidable leader in banking, serving as CEO of HSBC India and later Group General Manager and Country Head of HSBC India and Director on the boards of HSBC Asia Pacific. She works for several causes that are very close to her heart: environment, sanitation, access to water, women's empowerment, to name just a few. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Naina Lal Kidwai. I'd now like to call on stage Manoj Gujran, Chief Compliance Officer and Head Legal and CSR, Poonawalla FinCorp, to come on stage, sir. All right, we'll just wait a few moments for Mr. Gujran. He might have just stepped out for a moment. And through the evening, we'll be honoring the remarkable women who are in the room here with us. And 2023, as we said, is about the women of India. To bear with us in just a moment, Mr. Manoj Gujran will be coming here to give the welcome address.
Gargi, if you allow, can I take over?
Sure, Arun.
Hi, a very warm welcome. My name is Arun Singh. And of course, we are honoring the best here, best Indians here. But what's the point of, honoring them? Why are they working? Why have they been putting their best to get that joy, to get happiness, right? So we'll just do something lighthearted and have some fun conversations here as we wait for our esteemed guest, Gargi, only if you allow. Shall we proceed?
Go ahead.
Okay, very quickly, there is one word which has been overused by poets, especially romantic poets. Can you guess, sir?
Dil.
Dil. Sure. Any other word? One word which has been overused by romantic poets.
By poets or?
Yeah.
Love.
Anything else? We've got dil, we've got love, of course, because it's romantic poetry.
But Arun, can you really overuse love?
Well, no, you can't. But there is one word which I didn't get from you guys. That's chand, right? Moon. मतलब मैं चांद पर जाऊंगा, ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा, लेकिन कोई चांद पर जरूर गया. Our ISRO scientists, please a huge round of applause for them. Only if you allow, ladies and gentlemen, I have just very quick, fun, light-hearted questions because we want to see the other side of you. My first question is, of course, we see you in that joyous moment every time you achieve that feat. But what is the unwinding sessions like? How do you guys celebrate is what my first question is.
We celebrate with family and friends.
No, I want to know what is the party like?
Our party life is very minimal.
Very minimal. That goes the same for you, ma'am?
Exactly. Like sharing and our moments with friends and family is the way we celebrate.
Okay. Any space-themed movie that you like? Sir, I'll go to you. Any space-themed movie that that is your favorite?
So the Mars one of the film was a favorite movie.
Okay. And if there was a film to be made on Chandrayaan 3, who would you want to see in the film?
I'll pass on this question to madam.
Very convenient. We'll go to the ladies. Ma'am, please. Who would you want to see?
Deepika Padukone.
Deepika Padukone. Congratulations, Deepika Padukone. Well, there has been a suggestion right from the horse's mouth. And ma'am, what would be your name?
No, before name, yeah, it's a very potential subject for a good movie to be done. Whoever does it, I wish them all the best, and it should be portrayed in the best of its way, both the direction as well as the cast. So that's what I expect.
Okay. What about you, sir?
Amitabh Bachchan.
That's a big name. Let's have a huge round of applause on that.
Can I call him?
Of course. In the end, I'll just close this with one superpower that you would like to have. Of course, you have one, which is science, and we've seen the example of it. One superpower that you wish you had.
Harmony. Harmony.
How sweet. Huge round of applause for ma'am. What about you, doctor?
So like proper balancing.
Okay. You, sir?
Time management.
Lastly, you, sir.
Harmony is the best answer.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for our scientists who actually made going on the moon absolutely a reality, and वो वाकई जो शायर जिस चांद की बात करते हैं उन्हें ये लेकर आए हैं. And I now toss back to you, Gargi. Thank you, guys.
That was a lovely little interlude, and we hope Chandrayaan 3 does get made, that film, and Deepika Padukone agrees to act in it. I'd now like to call on stage Mr. Manoj Gujran, Chief Compliance Officer and Head Legal and CSR, Poonawalla FinCorp. Thank you so much, sir, for the welcome address.
Thank you, Gargi. Good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be here today at the Ndtv Indian of the Year Awards. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, for gracing the occasion. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Minister for Railways, Communications, Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, for gracing the occasion with his esteemed presence despite the busy schedule. I would also like to thank all the esteemed dignitaries, honorable union ministers and chief ministers of various states for attending this event. I also express my gratitude to Shri Sanjay Pugalia ji, Shri Senthil ji, and the entire team of NDTV for organizing this event. This is a great initiative by NDTV, which honors extraordinary Indians from various fields who have truly made a remarkable contribution and have had a profound impact on the nation. They have not only strengthened the foundation of our society, but also helped build brand Bharat. I congratulate all of them who will be awarded this evening. Since this event is all about celebrating the great achievements of people who have made India proud, I would like to take a moment and thank our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, for transforming Bharat. Under his visionary leadership, we have come a long way on the global economic platform and are at the cusp of becoming the third largest economy. Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Startup India and the Atal Innovation Mission are some of the great initiatives of our government, which are fueling inclusive growth and promoting the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. Honorable Prime Minister's far-sighted approach has propelled India to be a global hub of manufacturing and technology, harnessing the power of digital solutions. I would like to laud the work of Sri Ashwini Vaishnav ji. Under his dynamic leadership, we are seeing the transformation of Indian railways like never before. And the way he is guiding the nation and working tirelessly towards making Bharat a design and manufacturing above semiconductors, which is a true testament to Atmanirbhar Bharat. I am confident that Bharat will be a global chip powerhouse soon and is heading towards the right direction in achieving the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047. At Poonawalla FinCorp, we believe in enabling the dreams of millions of our customers who are contributing towards the growth of the nation. With deep investment in technology and innovation, we strive to create endless possibilities each time and partner in the growth journey of our customers. Trust, integrity, transparency, and excellence are at the core of our institution. Poonawalla FinCorp is a compliance-resilient organization with focus on good corporate governance. We are leaving no stone unturned in building a robust risk framework with the integration of technology and innovation. Our vision is to be the most trusted, ethical, and transparent financial services brand and help individuals and businesses achieve more by offering best-in-class customer-centric products and solutions. As I conclude, I once again thank NDTV for conceptualizing this magnificent event and allowing me to share my thoughts. My best wishes to all the awardees for the future. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for those words.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। और आपने ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव इंडिया की बात की, तो आज हम बदलाव की शक्ति के रूप में भारत और भारतीयता का समारोह मना रहे हैं। हर जगह ये बदलाव देखने को मिल रहा है और इस बदलाव की ताकत हम महसूस कर रहे हैं हमारे लोकतंत्र में, जिसमें अलग अलग समुदायों का सशक्तिकरण हुआ है, हमारी तकनीक में, भारत की डिजिटल क्रांति में, खेलों में और विचारों की दुनिया में भी। और सबसे ज्यादा बदलाव ये देखने को मिल रहा है जो शक्ति है महिलाओं की उसमें।
Well, tonight we celebrate India as a transformative power, the transformative power of democracy and empowering communities, the transformative power of technology, the transformative power of ideas, and of course, India's digital revolution, amongst the biggest transformations, in fact, that the world is seeing. I'm delighted to call on the stage Ashwini Vaishnav, Minister for Railways, Communications, Electronics and Information Technology. Come, sir, let's have a quick chat, and thank you so much for being with us. Come. Hi, how are you? Great. Wonderful to have you, Minister, with us today.
Same here, man.
Why do we in India need to have such a strong base in semiconductors?
Okay, good question to start with. Listen, semiconductor basically forms one of the foundational industries. Practically everything that we manufacture today and practically everything that we use today has semiconductors in it. To put it in a very simple way, everything that is switched on and switched off has some chip in it. So if we want to grow our manufacturing base, if we want to be Atmanirbhar in manufacturing, Atmanirbhar in our supply chains, have resilient supply chains, we need to have semiconductor. Now, we have a very strong semiconductor design ecosystem in our country. So it's very natural that the next item in the value chain, which is semiconductor fabrication, and the third one, which is semiconductor ATMP, all the three parts of the value chain must be there in the country. And who else is better positioned than us? We have huge talent. Close to 30% of the global semiconductor talent is in India.
Yeah.
Recently, I had gone and met about 45 odd semiconductor companies. Practically every company, the CTO was an Indian expat in the valley.
Right.
Every practically every R&D organization in semiconductor industry is run by Indians. Why shouldn't we have the semiconductor industry here in India? We should.
Sure.
And this is something which our country has been trying for more than 4 decades. The first attempts were made in early 1960s, 1962, 65, 70s, then 80s, then 90s, 2000s, 2010s. Practically lots and lots of efforts were made, and finally it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji who has succeeded in getting it.
And it's said to actually take off in a huge way. One of the most interesting themes now is, of course, artificial intelligence. But then with the use of AI, whether it's in apps, there is always a danger. We keep talking about deep fakes. There is also policy which is required. Tell us about your concerns about the ethical use of AI and what we in India are doing, what the government is doing to ensure that that takes place.
See, AI has both very good, lots and lots of benefits, and there are some serious risks, serious concerns. And the whole construct of our internet today has to be seen in that. So the way we are working on AI is, one, we need to have very strong opportunities to be created for our youth, for our startups in the new emerging field. Two, there are many applications of AI, for example, in agriculture, for example, in pharmaceuticals, in biotech, in weather forecasting. We definitely would like to get the benefits of AI in these sectors. Three, the harms that can be caused to society, especially using deepfakes, misinformation, that must be controlled. And I think we need a new law in this case. We are very widely consulting with the industry and stakeholders. And right now we are in the election process. So I cannot say anything, but immediately after the election process, we must work on a new law on this.
You spoke about misinformation very briefly. The government has been trying to push fact checkers government fact checkers to ensure that what actually exists online is fair, it's correct. But then there is criticism in a sense of that as well, with people saying that should the government necessarily be fact checking issues which may be debatable and uncomfortable for the government? How would you respond?
Absolutely not. See, facts are facts, opinions are opinions. I'll give you one example. Recently, one of the opposition parties' handles, they posted something on Twitter saying that passenger transportation, number of passengers in Indian Railways has reduced by 80%. Now, if somebody puts this kind of misinformation, how would you tackle it? You'll have to ask the Ministry of Railways what is the exact number, what is the accurate number.
Yeah.
If there is a question related to the central government, who is best placed to answer that question about the fact? Central government. If there is a question about Ndtv, who's best placed to answer
Sanjay,
that?
he's sitting right there.
So it's Ndtv, right? So our proposal and our notification was very limited. It was limited to facts related to data related to central government work. That has to be clarified by the central government. If there is something related to the state governments, then the state governments have to set up their own units. Unfortunately, that has been stayed by the Supreme Court. We respect Honorable Supreme Court's orders, but I think it was very genuine and very well thought through idea of having one central government agency to clarify on items, on data relating to the central government ministries.
I'd like to ask you now to put on your hat as Railways Minister. That's another increasingly high-tech area. One of the most sort of interesting and areas which might result in huge economic benefits is the bullet train. We were talking about it a couple of months back. It's not really been in the news too much in the recent past. Where exactly is the bullet train and what are the economic benefits?
The bullet train is progressing very well. As we speak, I think we have covered almost 284 kilometers, 8 rivers, bridges we have completed. Stations are on the verge of completion. The Maharashtra section also is now progressing very rapidly. The first undersea tunnel work has already started. So the progress is very good. And we should not look at bullet train simply as a transportation project. It has to be seen from integrating economies. I'll give you the example of Japan. The first bullet train in Japan was commissioned in 1960s, 1969 or 1970. If you look at that bullet train, basically starting from, let's say, Tokyo, Nagoya, Kyoto, Kobe, and Osaka, these 5 major economies, they get integrated into one economy. Same thing will happen in India in the first corridor that we are doing here. From Mumbai, Thane, Vapi, Baroda, Surat, Anand, and Ahmedabad. All these economies will become one single economy. So you can have breakfast in Surat, go and complete your work in Mumbai, and come back and have dinner with your family in the night. So that's the power of the economy.
And would the fares undercut airfares?
Most of the places wherever bullet train projects have gone, practically bullet trains have taken 90+% transportation share. For example, in Japan, between Tokyo and Osaka, I would guess it is something like 96-97% by bullet train and 5% by other modes.
One of your biggest areas of focus for you and any minister, of course, holding the portfolio of railways is safety. This is also technology intensive. There have been systems in place to ensure that there isn't any possibility of 2 trains coming together on the same track. But that technology hasn't been fully deployed in quite the manner in which we would like. When would there be 100% compliance to make us all safer in the railways?
See, in railway, most of the large railway systems of the world, they shifted to automatic train protection when the speeds started increasing from 70s to 100. Because when you're traveling at 100 kmph, then the ability for a loco pilot to see the signal physically reduces dramatically, because one passes in a absolutely like a very small fraction of a minute. So around 1980s and early 1990s, most of the world's railways, they shifted to a technology called automatic train protection, ATP, we call it in short. Unfortunately, the governments of that period, 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, and 2010, those governments, they never cared about the safety of railways. It was in 2016 when the ATP in India was approved by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He approved it 2016 to 2019, certification process happened. Then of course COVID came, but still a lot of work was happening in parallel. And now we have very good progress to show, close to 4,000 kilometers of, and again, it's not like simply putting a device in a train. It's a very complex system. It is like setting up a complete telecom network along the railway lines, setting up many data centers along the railway lines, integrating with the signal. It's really complex. So our Kavach system today, we have done about 4,500 odd kilometers of optical fiber cables. We have done about 800 odd telecom towers already. About 600 odd stations are, the data centers have been prepared, station signal integration has been done. Progress is very fast, very rapid, and the manufacturing and design ecosystem is also getting developed. So as we speak, it's like, it's on the verge when we can see exponential rollout.
One final question, going back to the entire issue of tech. India is seen as a startup phenomena in the world. We've seen a startup Mahakumbh taking place just day before yesterday. One of the most impressive aspects of this is that upwards of 45% of all startups now are led by women. How is this about empowerment at so many levels? Number one, women. Number two, tier 3 cities. It's not just an urban phenomenon, as it were.
One of the good parts of the startup policies, Startup India, is that we have set up many distributed incubators, which basically means that incubators are not limited to a few IITs. Incubators are now spread across the country in tier 2, tier 3 cities. Then the way our startup ecosystem has evolved in the last 10 years, the focus has been on getting real solutions, focus has been on solving real problems. And India offers basically an opportunity to solve problems at population scale. Where else in the world will you get an opportunity to solve something at a billion plus scale, right? And our government has always focused on giving equal opportunities to women, to equal opportunities to smaller towns. In a sense, if you look at it, the basic construct of technology is to democratize technology. The way UPI was done. So, for example, if you look at technology in many other geographies, I wouldn't take any names, technology is basically controlled by a few big tech. Whereas in India, we have created, our Prime Minister Modi ji's clear focus was on democratizing technology. Technology should be accessible to everybody. It should be openly accessible. It should be like interoperable. So that's why most of the things that we have done, whether it is UPI, whether it is Aadhaar, whether it is the healthcare system that we are creating, whether it is the logistics platform that we are creating, all these are platforms where everybody can join and create solutions. So that is one of the reasons why we are seeing very good traction in tier 2 and tier 3 cities and among all sections of the society.
Are some companies potentially getting ahead of themselves? The reason I ask is because we've seen some big startups also failing financially now, cases against them, financially floundering. In as much as we encourage this space and the sector, do we need to be more cautious about what companies can and cannot achieve?
Absolutely. For every business, for every enterprise, for every organization, it's very important to be absolutely aware of what the legal constructs are, what the regulatory environment is, how the customers should be treated. All those things are kind of basic, elementary. I think every business, whether it's a startup or whether it's an established business, we should all be concerned and we should all look at in a sense, our responsibility towards the society.
Minister, it's been wonderful speaking to you. Thank you very much,
Thank you, Vishnu,
for being with us. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an extremely momentous occasion for all of us. NDTV Indian of the Year has seen the presence of such incredible people who have done so much in their fields and taken India to incredible heights. And one such person who's here with me to talk about her journey and what she has brought to the table, Suvarna Raj. Ma'am, सबसे पहले NDTV Indian of the Year में आने के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद. First of all, every one of us, we want to know about a little bit about your journey, where it started and what prompted you to get into sports.
सबसे पहले तो सबको धन्यवाद. एंड जो मेरी जर्नी है, अगर मैं उसकी बात करूं, तो जब 2 साल की थी, जब पता भी नहीं था कि मुझे पोलियो हुआ है, तो सडनली एक कहते हैं ना, परिवार के लिए उस चीज को एक्सेप्ट करना बड़ा भारी पड़ गया था. क्योंकि होता है कि आपके अगर 4 बच्चे हैं और 4 में से अगर एक बच्चा सडनली व्हीलचेयर पे आ जाता है, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो पूरी फैमिली जो है वो मेंटली डिसेबल्ड हो जाती है. क्योंकि अगर लड़की है तो सबसे पहला ख्याल जो माँ बाप के मन में आता है वो होता है कि शादी कब होगी या शादी कैसे होगी. सेकेंडली, अगर लड़का है तो इसका एजुकेशन कैसे होगा, या फिर और भी बहुत सारी चीजें. तो मेरे साथ तो डबल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन रहा है बचपन से ही. मुझे आज भी याद है, मुझे खुद को प्रूव करने के लिए मेरी एज के 33 इयर्स लग गए. जब मैं 33 इयर्स की थी और मुझे फर्स्ट नेशनल अवार्ड बाय प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया मिला, तब मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स को प्राउड फील कराया कि यस, मैं भी हूँ, कि आप ही का एक पार्ट हूँ और आप ही के जैसे 3 बच्चे और है वैसे ही मैं हूँ. और मैंने भी ये प्रूव करके दिखाया है कि यस, मैं भी सोसाइटी में एक टैक्स पेयर बन सकती हूँ. बिकॉज वी हैव 1 करोड़ वोटर्स नाउ इन पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटी. सो मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि सोसाइटी जो है वो सिंपैथी की तरफ से देखे ही ना ही वो स्टीरियोटाइप जो सोच है ना, बेचारा एंड बेचारी, हम उससे कहीं बेहतर और कहीं आगे निकल चुके हैं, जिसका उदाहरण हम सेट कर चुके हैं इन. और चाहे इन पैरा ओलंपिक्स एंड ओलंपिक्स, अगर हम दोनों का अगर वो करें कि ओलंपिक्स में अगर 19 है तो 7 है, तो पैरा ओलंपिक्स में 19 मेडल्स, और एशियन में अगर 100 है तो पैरा एशियन में 111 है। तो कहीं ना कहीं, चाहे वो एजुकेशन का क्षेत्र हो, चाहे वो कल्चरल हो, चाहे वो कोई भी क्षेत्र हो, अभी तो हमने दिखाया है कि कांट का टी हटाना और कांट को कैन में बदलना हमारे लिए कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं रही है। बस आपकी जो सोच है वो हमें चाहिए। जैसे अगर हम स्मार्ट सिटी की बात करते हैं, मैं एक्सेसिबल इंडिया कैंपेन के अंडर एक्सेस ऑडिटर भी हूँ, एक इंटरनेशनल एथलीट भी हूँ, इंडिया को अभी भी रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ, और मेरा सपना है एक ओलंपिक मेडल लेना और फुल्ली मेक्स इंडिया फुल्ली एक्सेसिबल। ये 2 सपने के साथ में जी रही हूँ। तो अब अगर हम स्मार्ट सिटी की बात करते हैं, तो स्मार्ट सिटी के लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि पहले सोच को स्मार्ट बनाइए, सिटी अपने आप स्मार्ट बन जाएगी। क्योंकि जब स्टीरियोटाइप सोच निकल जाएगी तो आई थिंक हम उससे कहीं ज्यादा आगे निकल पाएंगे।
Absolutely, ma'am. A huge round of applause, Sir Suvarna Raj. Let's go back to Gargi and Veera, who are waiting for us to take this forward.
Thank
Veera,
you so
back
much
to
for
you.
that, Osama, and lovely to hear Suvarna Raj speak out on all these issues.
What a message.
Yes,
Think
absolutely.
smart to make smart cities.
Absolutely. Well, our next category in this Indian of the Year function is Entrepreneur of the Year Award.
That's right, Gargi. For a young and aspirational India, the quest is no longer about finding jobs as it was a few generations ago. It's about creating them, the ability and desire to take risks and chase a dream no matter what the barriers, is what defines the spirit of entrepreneurship.
And to give the Entrepreneur of the Year Award, I'd like to invite back on stage Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and Senthil Chengal Varyan, Executive Director, Ndtv.
And there, though.
And the envelope, yes, please.
Okay. Entrepreneur of the Year is, some guesses? Deepinder Goyal.
Well, Deepinder Goyal, the man we literally think of when we're all hungry.
Yes.
An alumnus of IIT Delhi and the CEO of Zomato, one of the world's leading food delivery and restaurant discovery platforms. The man who delivers to a hungry India on time.
Absolutely, and it's 15 years old now, this Zomato, and of course we order from it all the time. And Deepinder, we were wondering whether you would wear green or red today when you came for the function.
But you've come in white.
Very neutral, very safe.
But you know, jokes apart, success isn't delivered on Zomato. It's something that India is hungry for. What's your message to a hungry young India which wants success of your kind?
I come from a very small town in Punjab. So I think the only message is no matter where you're born, no matter what background you come from, you can actually make it. So, and I think this is just a start.
I also want to appreciate the fact that, I know you were joking about what color you'd wear, but you made a certain announcement and there was criticism, there were a lot of comments, and you took it in your stride and you then recalibrated. So that is something, if you could just tell us a bit about that, because that's something very special and very important in business leaders and leaders otherwise as well.
I mean, we did a large survey saying what will make you order from the Zomato more, and this came up that we want a pure veg fleet. Okay, and I mean, the way we grew up, we don't know the meanings of these words and what is the historical context, and none of our team actually knows this. So we are actually indifferent to this, right? And I think that's the purest form of letting go of any casteism, any religion, any biases. Like, we are actually indifferent to it. So, I mean, we just went on and did the change. But when we got the feedback, we actually understood that, okay, this makes sense. And we were actually on a Zoom call for the next 20 hours, just trying to fix anything that we needed to fix.
So, on a lighter note, have you ever secretly used Swiggy?
I told him not to ask this question.
Have you ever secretly used Swiggy?
I have never. I've never.
Yeah, Senthil said he should say what's that. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We move on now to our next category, Gargi. That's the Innovator of the Year.
Absolutely. And Albert Einstein said the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. And innovation is, after all, imagination, isn't it?
That's right. It's the ability to imagine and innovate perhaps what will define us as different from robots and Gen AI in a world marching towards the unknown. And to give away that Innovator of the Year award, we'd like to ask Mr. Manoj Gujaran to join us on stage.
Okay. Innovator of the Year is Piyush Bansal.
Piyush Bansal transformed a small idea into a multi-million-dollar company, making Lenskart one of the leading eyewear companies in the country. And Veera and I both have our Lenskart glasses as well.
Yeah, that's a good plug for Lenskart. He's also a notable angel investor now and has been investing in several startups if they catch his eye and are purpose-driven and innovative enough.
Piyush, I don't know if you noticed, but we just pointed out we both have your Lenskart glasses and have them in many colors. But
yeah, it's a toss-up between the pink and the gray. But you've got a 10 on 10 in terms of vision and eyesight. What's perhaps the worst moment in the Lenskart journey? What's the best moment in Lenskart journey? And what's the lesson for the future?
Yeah, there are many worst moments. I think in an entrepreneurship journey, it's a roller coaster. You have good days, bad days. I remember we were moving to a new manufacturing facility and the tech systems kind of broke, and we were changing tech, and we were shipping 4 glasses for every order, and so you were running out of inventory very fast. So that was a very tough moment, and there were many orders we were not able to serve. So we literally stayed in office for about a week, living there. And yeah, in terms of the best moments, I think they're yet to come. We have a long way to go. The vision for the future, I think this award is not just a celebration for Lenskart, but a celebration of where India is at innovation as a country.
And we also appreciate the fact that now with your success, you're also looking at other startups and you're looking to fund them. And that's something that's so important in this India with so many young people and so many ideas.
Yeah, and I think the conditions we have in India, the scale that we have in India, the challenges we have in India. Honorable PM Modi mentioned in the Mahakumbh the other day that we have a cold region, we have a hot region, we have a high terrain, we have all the variety of environments and the scale. And I do believe that necessity is the mother of invention, right? So we have to work hard with the highest costs, highest rents, highest everything, and yet have to deliver that great service. So I do think our ability to innovate is just so much better. And in India, this is happening at the grassroots level. I think today I am definitely privileged. We are privileged that we live in the metro cities and we get access to a lot of capital. But when I go to the smaller towns, and this is what happens at Shark Tank, you see the level of resources that people are working with is just phenomenal. And every year people are working with 10x lesser resources, but at 10x faster speed. Right?
All right. Well, congratulations, and I think a message there as well to the government. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you all.
Thank you all for joining us.
Well, once again, it's time to have those tiny chit-chats here with the members of the audience. My name is Arun Singh. Once again, those who've just joined with us is Meenakshi Gadge ji. बहुत तालियां सबसे पहले इनके लिए बजाइए. आज, of course, इन्हें भी सम्मानित किया गया है। मैम, सबसे पहले तो बहुत बहुत बधाई इसके लिए। एनवायरमेंटल के क्षेत्र में आप काम कर रही हैं। आपने आपका जो गांव है आदिलाबाद में, उसे किस तरीके से ट्रांसफॉर्म किया है? सो लेट मी टेल यू, सोलर पावर से बिजली आ रही है, वहां वेस्ट सेग्रीगेट हो रहा है और वर्मी कंपोस्ट से ये कमाई भी कर रहा है गांव। सो उन सब चीजों के बारे में मैम से जानते हैं। अगर आप बता पाए कहां से शुरू हुआ और आपके लिए सबसे बड़ा मोमेंट या क्षण कब था जब आपको लगा कि बहुत बढ़िया काम हुआ है?
मैं आज एनडीटीवी वालों को मेरा धन्यवाद। मैं यहाँ पर आज उपराष्ट्रपति से अवार्ड ली हूँ। मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। मेरे गांव में मैं सरपंच बनने के पहले कुछ भी डेवलपमेंट नहीं था। मैं सरपंच बनने के बाद एक एक काम शुरू कर दी तो पूरा काम अब तक 5 साल में पूरा काम हो गया। फर्स्ट पहला काम क्या करी तो मैं महिला, मुझे सरपंच महिला हुई तो महिला का काम करी। कुछ महिला बाहर जाती तो उसके लिए मैं घर घर को टॉयलेट बना दिए है, तो घर में सब यूज कर रहे हैं, कोई भी महिला बाहर नहीं जा रही है। स्वच्छता के बारे में और मेरा गांव फूल और झाड़ कुछ भी नहीं थे पहले। मैं ऐसे झाड़ा लगाई तो पूरे रोड के 2 साइड में गवर्नमेंट प्लस कहा है वहां तक मैं 1 लाख पौधे लगाई। लगाने की कुछ बात नहीं, वो पौधे को मैं अब तक बचाई तो पूरे 1,10,000 पौधे अब अच्छे से अच्छे हैं।
हम कहते हैं कि पौधों से बात करो तो वो ज्यादा अच्छे खिलते, ऐसा होता है क्या? ये मिथ है?
हाँ, पूरा हरा भरा है मेरा मुकरा गांव।
मैं इंडोर प्लांट से जाकर आज बात करने वाला हूं फॉर श्योर। बट बहुत बहुत बधाई मैम, एक बार फिर से मैम के लिए जोरदार तालियां। एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव कुशा हियर। कुशा के लिए भी तालियां। हेलो कुशा।
Hi, how are you? It's so nice to meet you.
की हाल चाल थोड़े?
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत
एक क्विक रैपिड फायर कर ले कुशा के साथ।
करते हैं।
ठीक है, मैं आपको कुछ शब्द देता हूं, जो भी आपके जहन में सबसे पहले आता है आप वो बोल सकती हैं उसके बारे में। जीनत अमान।
Classy.
इलेक्शंस 2024।
Predictable.
Okay. IPL।
Masti.
सुनिधि चौहान।
Queen.
स्नेक वेनम।
No comments.
थैंक यू सो वेरी मच। कुशा के लिए जोरदार तालियां। एंड बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलके। एंड एक बार फिर से थोड़ी सी और चिटचाट कर लेते हैं। बात कर रहे थे हम यहाँ पर। आई कांट सी दीपिंदर जी, हैज ही लेफ्ट? Oh, and so has Piyush ji, is it? Okay, never mind. We'll very quickly do one quick session here once again. So, आप बताइए, आपने नाम लिया कि अमिताभ बच्चन और दीपिका पादुकोण को आप देखना चाहते हैं अगर चंद्रयान 3 फिल्म बनती है। Any acting aspirations that scientists have? Don't you want to play yourself?
Of course, I can try.
Wow. I love the confidence. Talia ma'am ke liye. Doctor, that's commendable. We would love to see you act in Chandrayaan 3 film and play yourself. How about you, doctor?
No, something on the screenplay or something to do with the overall making.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have Naina Lal Kidwai here? I've got a special request. Oh, ma'am. Huge round of applause for Naina ji. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
So I have a quick never have I ever segment where I'll give you situations. If you have, you can of course share. And if you have any anecdotes as well, that can also be shared. Can we do that?
I'm in your hands and totally surprised, I have to add.
It's the Indian version. I call it never have I ever, the Indian version, because we are doing Indian of the Year. Never have I ever danced in a barat. Like an Indian, like a true blue Indian.
Of course I have. Yeah. So never have I ever? Yes, I have.
Never have I ever eaten spicy food and pretended it wasn't spicy just to impress someone. That's something that a lot of Delhi people also do, na? Ye to kam tikha hai.
Often. I don't.
You lied about it?
I don't like spicy food.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have to pretend very often.
Never have I ever imagined myself in a Bollywood song.
Never imagined myself ever in a Bollywood song.
If you were to, can you mention one song?
How about Kajaria?
Which one?
Well,
Kajrare.
yeah.
Lovely. Great choice. Thank you so very much. A huge round of applause for ma'am as well. And now I toss back to my lovely colleagues. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. मैं सुमित हूँ, मेरे साथ मारिया हैं और अब हम अगली कैटेगरी की ओर आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। हम सभी लोग बड़े बड़े सपने देखते हैं। इन बड़े बड़े ख्वाबों को पूरा करने के लिए कई बार बड़े बड़े कदम भी उठाते हैं, पर किसी भी बड़ी छलांग को लगाने के लिए छोटी छोटी कोशिशें और छोटे छोटे कदमों की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ती है। इसीलिए तो कहा गया है कि समाज और देश को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए बड़े और छोटे हर तबके के लोगों की भागीदारी बहुत जरूरी है। तो हमने यहाँ एनडीटीवी में तय किया कि हम भी भारत के नक्शे में छोटे से दिखने वाले जो राज्य हैं, जो बड़ा सा कंट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं, उनका बड़ा सा सम्मान करते हैं।
So it is time now for our next category, and that is the best performing small state of the year. To give away the award, let me invite on the stage Padma Vibhushan Ustad Amjad Ali Khan and UK Sinha, former chairman of SEBI and independent director of the NDTV board.
अवार्ड या उस्ताद साहब आपको अनाउंस करना है।
Best Performing Small State Award, Goa.
Goa.
And working on a 5-point mantra to revive and transform the state of Goa, Mr. Pramod Sawant actually believed in penny earned is penny saved. And working on that principal driver, he went on to revive the mining sector, the restructured loans, and gave that much needed booster dose to Goa, something that only a medical practitioner like Mr. Sawant could. May I please invite on the stage Pramod Sawant, Chief Minister of Goa, to receive this award.
Please come, sir.
I would like to now call Nikunj Garg, Senior Managing Editor, NDTV 24/7, on the stage for an interaction with the Goa Chief Minister.
Please.
Nikunj. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Please. Thank you.
Dr. Sawant, सबसे पहले thank you very much for coming. I know it's the busiest time for politicians, and it is the busiest time for the Chief Minister. Thank you very much that you have taken this time out for NDTV, for our viewers. We sit here at a very critical time. I'll speak to you about that later. But Dr. साहब, सबसे पहले मैं आपसे ये पूछता हूँ कि स्मॉल स्टेट
पूछने से पहले मैं एनडीटीवी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि द बेस्ट परफॉर्मिंग द स्मॉलेस्ट स्टेट अवार्ड जो गोवा को मिला, इसके लिए मैं एनडीटीवी को गोवा की सरकार की तरफ से, गोवा के लोगों की तरफ से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब। डॉक्टर साहब, मैं सबसे पहले आपसे ये पूछता हूँ कि गोवा को लगातार आपके टर्म में, ये सेकेंड टर्म है आपका, यू आर सेकेंड टर्म चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ गोवा, सिलसिलेवार एज बेस्ट परफॉर्मिंग स्मॉल स्टेट का अवार्ड मिला है, एंड आज ये उसी कड़ी में अगला स्टेप है। क्या ऐसा किया आपने रिवाइव करने के लिए? ऑब्वियसली एक बहुत टफ टाइम था, इट वाज अ ब्लैक स्वॉन इवेंट जब आपने चेयर संभाली और कोविड हुआ, और गोवा जैसे स्टेट जिसकी सारी इकोनॉमी डिपेंडेंट है टूरिज्म के ऊपर, मतलब बल्क इकोनॉमी का टूरिज्म पे डिपेंडेंट है, और फिर माइनिंग की बात होती है,
तो दोनों ही पे बड़ा भारी इम्पैक्ट पड़ा था जब आप मुख्यमंत्री बने थे, और एक दफा तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि कहीं गोवा की इकोनॉमी कहीं पूरी तरह से चरमरा ना जाए। वहां से किस तरह से आपने स्टेट की इकोनॉमी को और स्टेट के बाकी सारे सोशल फैक्टर्स को रिवाइव किया, क्या काम किया उसके पीछे डॉक्टर साहब?
जैसे 2019 में मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर की कुर्सी संभाली, तब कोविड का कार्यकाल स्टार्ट हुआ तुरंत ही 7-8 महीने के बाद ही। और ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत की जो एक सभी को अनाउंस किया, उसी के तहत द स्वयंपूर्ण गोवा मिशन हमने स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो स्वयंपूर्ण गोवा मिशन के अंतर्गत हर एक चीज रिवाइव करना हमने स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो फिर वी हैव स्टार्टेड द फाइनेंशियल रिवाइविंग ऑल्सो। वी हैव रिस्ट्रक्चर्ड ऑल द लोन, we have started the restructuring of the loan जो the big जो interest था, which we have brought to the smaller interest loan. We have taken the RIDF loan, Rural Infrastructure Development Loan, through the NABARD, through the CIRB. इस तरह के लोन जो infrastructure development, otherwise हमेशा के लिए we are going for the bigger loan, which is 7 to 8% of the loans from all the bankers. We have revised and we have come to the 3 to 4%, approximately the 2.5% loan also. जब मैं स्टेट की चीफ मिनिस्टर बना तो ओनली हार्डली द मीन्स नबार्ड की तरफ से रूरल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लोन बहुत ही कम लिया था। तो अब टारगेट तो अपना 500 करोड़ ऑफ लोन तक हम ले सकते थे। दैट इज द रिवाइवल इज द फर्स्ट, सो दैट वी गॉट द रिलीफ। Then we have got each and every scheme from the government of India, which is in the infrastructure development and also in the human resource development. We have tapped all the central funds to the state, so that we have given the boost to develop the infrastructure development. उससे हम अच्छी तरह से infrastructure develop कर सके। The third thing, the COVID के कार्यकाल में the tourism revive करने के लिए सभी डरते थे, यानी tourism start किया जाए या नहीं किया जाए। यानी कोविड के हमने 100% वैक्सीनेशन के बाद तुरंत ही देश में पहला स्टेट जो टूरिज्म स्टार्ट किया, ओपन किया लोगों के लिए, वो गोवा स्टेट था। इसलिए सभी लोग कहने मैक्सिमम द टूरिस्ट हैव स्टार्टेड कमिंग टू अगेन द स्टेट। एंड द फोर्थ वन, जब माइनिंग पूरी तरह से बंद हो चुकी थी, तो द 3 तरह से द ई ऑक्शनिंग ऑफ द बचाव और द डंप ऑक्शनिंग एंड नाउ द लीज ऑक्शनिंग, ये इकोनॉमी रिवाइव करने से वी आर गेटिंग द गुड सफिशिएंट फंड्स, द रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन स्टार्ट हुआ। सो ऑल्सो आई हैव रिवाइज्ड द वेरियस एंड जो नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू भी था, उसमें छोटी सी परसेंटेज पे रिवाइव करने के बाद भी बड़ा रेवेन्यू स्टेट के लिए आता है। सो दैट इज पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू रिवाइविंग द इकोनॉमिक और इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म से। और रेस्ट ऑल वी हैव गिवन द ईज ऑफ डूइंग द बिजनेस इन ऑल द वे, फ्रॉम द टूरिज्म सेक्टर से लेके इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर्स को, सभी को जो ईज ऑफ डूइंग द बिजनेस, इससे नॉट ओनली द रैंकिंग बढ़ाना बट एक्चुअल फील्ड पे ईज ऑफ डूइंग द बिजनेस, मुझे लगता है विच इज ऑल्सो गिवन द बूस्ट फॉर द गोवन इकोनॉमी। सो द माइनिंग, टूरिज्म एंड इंडस्ट्री, जिस तीनों सेक्टर से, और द इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म विच वी हैव, द स्ट्रक्चर रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ द लोन, एंड सेकेंड वन इज एन जो हमने using the various resources, single term uses from the different banks, that is also help for the government to revive the economy.
डॉक्टर साहब, सीरियस बातें तो मैं आपसे बाद में करूंगा, पहले एक बात कर लेता हूं कि यहाँ जितने भी लोग बैठे हुए हैं, ये यहाँ तो गोवा जाना चाहते हैं या गोवा होके आ रहे हैं। तो गोवा की इकोनॉमी
जो जाना चाहते हैं उनको मैं वेलकम करता हूँ, और जो जाके आए वो और एक बार होके आ जाए, क्योंकि अभी तो बहुत सारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर चेंजेस, अभी द सेकेंड एयरपोर्ट आ गया है विद द जुआरी ब्रिज। पहले जुआरी ब्रिज के लिए बहुत ही कंजेशन होता था, लोगों को 1-1 घंटा रोड ब्लॉकेज होती थी, अभी किसी को रोड ब्लॉकेज भी नहीं मिलेगी। और द सेकेंड न्यू एयरपोर्ट विच इज मनोहर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट विच वेलकम्स गोवा को, सभी वेलकम करते हैं।
तो मैं ये कह रहा था डॉक्टर साहब कि गोवा एक ऐसी जगह है जहां पे हर आदमी टूरिज्म के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, रिलैक्सेशन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, और अब तो काम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी ने ऐसा पॉसिबल कर दिया है कि पीपल कैन एक्चुअली वर्क फ्रॉम गोवा एंड बी कनेक्टेड टू एनीवेयर, एनी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, इन एनी फर्म और एनी कंपनी। सो डॉक्टर साहब, ये जो एक वर्क फ्रॉम गोवा वाला सेगमेंट है, उसके लिए एक डिजिटल इकोनॉमी को स्ट्रेंथन करने की जरूरत है टूरिज्म के अलावा, और आपकी सरकार ने, जैसा कि मैं देख रहा हूं, उस पर डिजिटल इकोनॉमी पे काफी काम किया है। स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन के अंदर में पैंजिम को वो डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी और भी बूस्ट करने की बात थी, उसमें क्या प्रोग्रेस है डॉक्टर सावंत अभी तक, और कितना काम हो गया है और कितना काम अभी होना बाकी है, ताकि ये सब लोग जो हैं अभी तक जो गोवा टूरिज्म के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जा रहे हैं, ये थोड़ा काम करने के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी जा सके।
एक्चुअल गोवा का हर विलेज, पंचायत, हर गांव तो कनेक्टेड है डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी से। आज भी हर कोस्टल बीच और ये सब कुछ कनेक्टेड है। रही बात स्मार्ट सिटी की, तो डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी हर घर फाइबर जो पेंजिम सिटी में हम कंप्लीट करने जा रहे हैं। इवन दो द डिजिटल नोमैड जो कंसेप्ट, द वर्क फ्रॉम बीच, वो कंसेप्ट हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, विच इज द या वर्क फ्रॉम द बीच। सो लोगों को काम, यानी पहला कंसेप्ट तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। सो नेक्स्ट, सो दैट वी कैन इन्वेस्ट, वी कैन आस्क फॉर द पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप टू इन्वेस्ट इन द सेम थिंग। इसीलिए द गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से डिजिटल नोमैड एक कंसेप्ट जो है हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसके बाद में नॉट वर्क फ्रॉम होम की जो बात चल रही थी, तो आगे हो के लोग एंजॉय भी करें और काम भी करें, इसी की कंसेप्ट के थ्रू गोवा में लोग आए और एंजॉय भी करे और काम भी करे, इस कंसेप्ट से हम आगे जा रहे हैं।
डॉक्टर साहब, ये जो वर्क फ्रॉम बीच है, ये जरा इसके बारे में बताइए। ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट है और ये मुझे लगता है कि रीडिफाइनिंग वर्क वाला कॉन्सेप्ट है ये वर्क फ्रॉम बीच।
जैसे कि अभी जो वर्क फ्रॉम होम जो काम कर रहे थे, तो उसको डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी उसके घर में अवेलेबल कर देते थे। हम सोच रहे हैं, ऑलरेडी वी हैव टेकन द पॉलिसी डिसीजन आल्सो, एटलीस्ट फॉर द 2 to 3 कंसेप्ट एंड ब्लॉक्स रेडी करें, क्योंकि उनको कनेक्टिविटी जो वहीं पे अवेलेबल दी जाए, so that they can start working from the beaches. So that type of concept already the government had taken the decision.
डॉक्टर साहब, एक ये तो वर्क फ्रॉम बीच वाली बात हुई। एक और चैलेंज जो आपकी गवर्नमेंट के लिए अब आने वाले टाइम में आएगा, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने टूरिज्म को इतना प्रमोट किया है और गवर्नमेंट के बाकी इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर्स में भी इतना काम हो रहा है, वो ये है कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट पे बहुत काम आपकी सरकार ने किया। और मेरे विचार में जितना काम आपके टेन्योर में हुआ है, उतना टेन्योर इससे पहले कभी एक सिंगल टेन्योर में तो नहीं हुआ गोवा में। लंबे समय में हुआ, अंतराल में हुआ हो तो मुझे मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन अब बढ़ते हुए टूरिज्म की वजह से शायद और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट की जरूरत है गोवा में।
जी हाँ, वैसे तो इस डबल इंजन के सरकार के कार्यकाल में we have spent more than 35,000 crores of rupees on the infrastructure in the state of Goa. The roads हो, bridges हो, bridge, even though the beaches पे जितना सारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमें वहाँ पे चाहिए थे, चेंजिंग रूम से लेके द पार्किंग्स, द आगवाद जेल, म्यूजियम, फोर्ट, इस तरह के डिफरेंट सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल, ये सब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमने नॉर्थ और साउथ दोनों डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कंप्लीट किया। और नॉर्थ और साउथ की कनेक्टिविटी आल्सो within 1.5 hours we can complete both the connectivity. But इसके सिवाय भी अभी भी और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की जरूरी है। जिस तरह से हम बोलते हैं कि एडवांस टूरिज्म की जब बात आती है, तो डेट इज एडवेंचर टूरिज्म, द स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म, इसकी भी बात चल रही है। तो फिर वेलनेस टूरिज्म, इसके लिए जो इंटीरियर, हम इनलैंड टूरिज्म की जब बात करते हैं, तो हमें टूरिस्ट सन, सैंड और सी, इससे टूरिज्म को इंटीरियर लेके जाने के लिए, बाकी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रेडी करने के लिए भी केंद्र सरकार की मदद लगेगी, और उससे बाकी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी डेवलप हो सकता है। हमने कैरावन पॉलिसी, होम स्टे पॉलिसी ऑलरेडी लॉन्च की है। सो इस पॉलिसी के थ्रू मैंने प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट तो आएगा, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, वाटर, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इनलैंड में देना चाहिए, इंटरलैंड में देना चाहिए, वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रेडी करने के लिए so it is required, so that government is इस तरह की इन्वेस्टमेंट आगे भी यानी करना चाहती है। इवन दो द ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट पे हम हमेशा के लिए चाहते हैं कि नॉट ओनली द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्रिएट करना जरूरी रहता है। वो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्रिएट करने के लिए हॉस्पिटलिटी इंस्टीट्यूट जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से वहाँ बन रहा है, तो उसको और भी ज़्यादा हॉस्पिटलिटी इंस्टीट्यूट और स्किलिंग ऑफ द यूथ, जैसे हम बोल रहे हैं कि हॉस्पिटलिटी टाइप ऑफ डिफरेंट कोर्सेज ऑलरेडी वी हैव स्टार्टेड इन अवर ITIs, बट और भी इस तरह के कोर्सेज ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्रिएट करने के लिए हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, और उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की भी मदद चाहिए। इवन दो द प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टर्स, दोज हु आर रेडी टू इन्वेस्ट इन द स्टेट, फॉर देम आल्सो वी आर वेलकमिंग टू इन्वेस्ट इन द टूरिज्म सेक्टर, हॉस्पिटलिटी सेक्टर, यानी कि सन, सैंड, सी के साथ स्पिरिचुअलिटी और बाकी टूरिज्म गोवा में बढ़े। और ज़्यादातर गोवा के ही यूथ जो इस तरह के टूरिज्म एक्टिविटी में पार्टिसिपेट करे। पहले यानी हम सिर्फ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करके नहीं होगा, तो फिर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के ऊपर ज़्यादा ध्यान देना। इसलिए हमारी सरकार, इवन दो वी हैव स्टार्टेड विद द एविएशन स्किल डेवलपमेंट सेंटर, मोपा इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट ही हमने डेवलप किया, उसके साथ साथ जो एविएशन स्किल डेवलपमेंट जो स्किल किया, उससे अप्रॉक्सीमेटली मोर देन 1500 यूथ हमने एविएशन सेक्टर में उसको स्किलिंग, रीस्किलिंग, अपस्किलिंग की बात जो थी वो की है। अभी ऑन द सेम लाइन फ्रॉम द ITI टू IIT स्टूडेंट्स वी आर डूइंग द स्किलिंग, रीस्किलिंग, अपस्किलिंग, उसको करना ऑलरेडी हमने स्टार्ट किया है। और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की मदद से आगे भी इस तरह से जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्रिएट करने में हम ज़्यादा इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं।
डॉक्टर साहब, इससे दो बातें मैं लूंगा आपसे, एक तो स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म की बात लूंगा और एक आपकी अप्रेंटिसशिप स्कीम है आपकी गवर्नमेंट की, जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का भी एक बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है अपस्किलिंग को लेकर के यूथ की, जिसकी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत भी है इस देश में। बट इससे पहले मैं ये आपको बता दूं कि शायद स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म जो आपका है उसके बहुत ज़्यादा टेकर्स आपको गोवा में मुश्किल होंगे ढूंढने।
स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म के लिए तो हम हमेशा के लिए लोगों को वेलकम करते हैं। रिसेंटली हमारे स्वामी ब्रह्मेशानंद स्वामी जी ने यानी वहाँ पे जो महाआरती जो उत्तर काशी में रहती है वो दक्षिण काशी में जैसे ऑन सेम कंसेप्ट जो स्टार्टेड द समुद्र आरती एट मिरामार बीच, हमने जो मिरामार बीच जो प्रोमिनेंट डेवलप किया है वहाँ पे रिसेंटली उन्होंने समुद्र आरती स्टार्ट की है। इसी तरह से आगे होके मुझे लगता है कि गोवा इन फ्यूचर विल बी नोन फॉर द दक्षिण काशी भी जाने जाते। गोवा में ढेर सारे टेम्पल्स वहाँ पे हैं, जो टेम्पल्स ऑलरेडी टेम्पल कनेक्ट और बाकी तरह से ही स्पिरिचुअलिटी और ज़्यादा बढ़ेगी। योगा वेलनेस सेंटर भी गोवा में प्राइवेट लोग इन्वेस्ट करने आ रहे हैं, तो मुझे लगता है इन फ्यूचर इस तरह की स्पिरिचुअल टूरिज्म को भी बढ़ावा मिलेगा।
माय फाइनल क्वेश्चन टू यू डॉक्टर सावन, ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा मैं आपसे, लेकिन एक मेरा फाइनल सवाल ये है कि जो अप्रेंटिसशिप स्कीम आपकी गवर्नमेंट ने लॉन्च करी और एक बड़ा यूनिक एक्सपेरिमेंट आपकी सरकार ने किया, वो ये कि वेरियस गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स के साथ आपने गोवा के गोवन यंगस्टर्स को अटैच करना शुरू किया, उनको एक स्कॉलरशिप टाइप ऑफ अमाउंट दिया। उसका क्या सक्सेस है, क्या रिजल्ट्स अब उसके आने लगे हैं? बिकॉज उस स्कीम को लॉन्च किए हुए जहां तक मुझे लगता है 1 साल तकरीबन होने वाला है।
सबसे पहले तो मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को धन्यवाद देता हूं, क्योंकि उन्होंने सोचा कि स्किल डेवलपमेंट जैसी नवी मिनिस्ट्री चाहिए और 2014 में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री ने स्किल डेवलपमेंट एक न्यू मिनिस्ट्री फॉर्म की और उसी न्यू मिनिस्ट्री के अंतर्गत उन्होंने अप्रेंटिसशिप वाला कंसेप्ट वो इंट्रोड्यूस किया। वही प्लेटफॉर्म यूज करके हमने गोवा सरकार में उसी प्लेटफॉर्म के तहत एक वर्क कल्चर डेवलप होना चाहिए, चाहे वो ग्रेजुएट हो, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट हो या अंडर ग्रेजुएट हो। उसको एक बार काम करने के नॉट ओनली द ITI या इंजीनियरिंग या टेक्निकल सेक्टर के लोगों को अप्रेंटिसशिप मिले और बाकी जो ग्रेजुएट अंडर ग्रेजुएट जो रहते हैं उनको अप्रेंटिसशिप न मिले तो वर्क कल्चर डेवलप नहीं होगा। इस तरह के जो ग्रेजुएट अंडर ग्रेजुएट मिलके यानी वो घर पे बैठे रहेंगे। तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि वही प्लेटफॉर्म यूज करके एक स्टेट में वर्क कल्चर डेवलप करने के लिए जो कोई यानी पास आउट होता है या अंडर ग्रेजुएट फेल होके घर पे रहता है उसके लिए भी अप्रेंटिसशिप स्टार्ट करें। और मैंने वो स्टार्ट की इन गवर्नमेंट एंड इन द प्राइवेट सेक्टर। मैंने सबको कहा कि आप भी अप्रेंटिसशिप इसी तरह से ले लो, तो फिर सभी ने यानी अप्रेंटिसशिप अप्रॉक्सीमेटली मोर देन 15,000 यूथ इन ईयर दे हैव जॉइन फॉर द अप्रेंटिसशिप। उससे अभी वर्क कल्चर बहुत ही अच्छा बढ़ा। लोगों को लगा कि इससे जो स्किलिंग, रीस्किलिंग, अपस्किलिंग वाला कंसेप्ट जो मैं सीखा था उसको एक्चुअल इम्प्लीमेंट करे, और जब एक्चुअल इम्प्लीमेंट करता है तो उसके काम के लिए वो अच्छा काम में आ जाएगा। ये कंसेप्ट डेवलप हो गया है और मुझे लगता है कि इसी तहत कि सभी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी लोगों ने बच्चों को ज्वाइन करके ले लिया। और मैं ऐड करूंगा इसके ऊपर कि जो मैंने जो क्लास C कैटेगरी की जो जॉब गवर्नमेंट में रहते हैं, for them it is a compulsory, the first time in the state government, in the Goa state government में either वो apprenticeship हो या experience हो, it is a compulsory to join in the government। इससे पहले वो नहीं था। कोई भी ग्रेजुएट पास होता था, कोई भी जाके एप्लीकेशन करता था, उसको जॉब मिलती थी, लेकिन जो एक्सपीरियंस वाले वही रह जाते थे। इसके लिए कम से कम 1 साल का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं तो अप्रेंटिसशिप कंपलसरी है। इसलिए अभी हर बच्चा यानी वो अप्रेंटिसशिप के लिए ज्वाइन होता है, वो ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद घर नहीं बैठता है। So it is getting the additional benefit. No doubt, he is getting the honorarium, but he is getting the experience, work experience in the particular field. तो फिर पूरे स्टेट में एक अच्छा वर्क कल्चर वाला माहौल क्रिएट हुआ है और बच्चों में एक उत्साह है. So that automatically we have started with the staff selection commission. That is the Goa Public Service Commission is already there. एक ट्रांसपेरेंट मैनर से ये प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हो गया है.
डॉक्टर साहब, पॉलिटिशियन हो और पॉलिटिक्स की बात ना हो तो थोड़ा काम कमजोर हो जाता है. तो आपसे पूछ लेता हूं कि वो जो मोदी जी का स्लोगन है इस बार का कि अब की बार 400 पार, उसमें आपका कितना योगदान है?
100% योगदान है. क्योंकि जो अब की बार 400 पार, एनडीए तो 400 पार करेंगे, ओन बीजेपी 370 पार करेंगे. गोवा की तरफ से 100% दोनों के दोनों सीट यानी भारतीय जनता पार्टी मोदी जी के परिवार के चुन के आएंगे. तो और बाकी भी जहां जहां पे मेरे जैसे छोटे कार्यकर्ता की मदद सके कि वहां पे मैं तो प्रेजेंट रहूंगा.
बिल्कुल. आप तो आज अभी बड़े स्टेट्स में कैंपेनिंग के लिए भी गए हैं, पहले कर्नाटक गए थे और बड़े स्टेट्स में भी कैंपेनिंग के लिए गए हैं. क्या माहौल दिखता है डॉक्टर साहब? एक फाइनल क्वेश्चन लेता हूँ.
बड़ी स्टेट और बीजेपी जैसे स्टेट जैसे मैंने महाराष्ट्र हो या कर्नाटक हो, इसमें तो माहौल बहुत ही अच्छा है. लेकिन आई एम सरप्राइज व्हेन आई विजिटेड टू द सदर्न पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री. केरल हो, तेलंगाना हो, तमिलनाडु हो, इन स्टेटों में भी मैंने प्रवास किया है. वहां पे जिस तरह से माननीय मोदी जी को जो अट्रैक्शन मिल रहा है, जो लोग चाह रहे हैं, यानी 2-3 इंसिडेंट मैंने 370 और रामलला दर्शन के बाद तो मुझे लगता है कि पीपल विल गेट द सरप्राइज इन द केरल, तेलंगाना, तमिलनाडु, इस जैसे स्टेट में बहुत बड़ा सरप्राइज लोगों को दिखेगा. और इन जैसे स्टेट यानी केरल और तेलंगाना में, तमिलनाडु में भी अकाउंट ओपन भारतीय जनता पार्टी का हो जाएगा. लोगों को पता चलेगा इन स्टेटों में भी माननीय मोदी जी का प्रभाव जो है बहुत बड़ी मात्रा से प्रभाव है. और पहली बार इन स्टेटों में भी बहुत बीजेपी की सीट्स और एनडीए के सीट्स जीतेंगे.
तो आपके 100% वाले जवाब पे वंस अगेन डॉक्टर सावंत, थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग at such a short notice. Thank you for coming from Goa, and thank you once again from all the viewers of NDTV.
थैंक यू फॉर द आपका जो एनडीटीवी का अवार्ड हमें मिला, इसलिए आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और आपने मुझे मौका दिया कि लोगों के सामने गोवा की बात रखने की. तो मैं यही अवसर लेके गोवा जैसे छोटे राज्य में सबको इनवाइट करता हूँ. टूरिज्म के लिए तो सन्स एंड सी के साथ यानी स्पिरिचुअलिटी और जो हर घर फाइबर वाली जो बात चल रही है उसी के साथ यानी वर्क फ्रॉम बीच, इसके लिए भी आ जाए, इसके लिए मैं सबको इनवाइट करता हूँ. फिर एक बार एनडीटीवी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
अरे वो ट्रॉफी कहाँ गई?
थैंक यू गोवा चीफ मिनिस्टर प्रमोद सावंत जी, आपने हमारे मंच पर आने के लिए इतना वक्त निकाला. थैंक यू सो मच एंड थैंक यू निकुंज. शिफ्टिंग फोकस नाउ, लेट्स नाउ इंट्रोड्यूस you to another very accomplished woman who joins us here today. The spotlight will be on her shortly. She dreamt of flying from the time she was a child, but her journey to fulfill this dream required both a physical and a mental transformation. She lost 20 kgs to meet the medical requirements, and with the support and encouragement of her father, became an Indian Air Force pilot. In May 2023, squadron leader Nikita Malhotra flew a sortie with a critical emergency. She flew over 2 hours with the emergency situation, eventually successfully recovering the aircraft with all passengers safe and with least damage to the aircraft. For her act of courage, squadron leader Nikita Malhotra was awarded the Vayu Sena Medal for gallantry. She was also part of the fly past during this year's Republic Day. Let's have a round of applause for squadron leader Nikita Malhotra. We have Honorable Minister Hardeep Puri with us. The world's most populous country that we are, and also the 5th largest economy, India has taken several policy measures to address its energy trilemma of ensuring energy affordability and environmental sustainability. For an ambitious country that we are, constantly on the move, the Modi government has set a roadmap that India will contribute to 25% of the global demand by 2040 and achieve 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. And we will be self-reliant by, in fact, Mr. Puri believes that before 2047. How is India looking at converting the current global oil challenges from the Ukraine crisis into an opportunity to secure affordable energy? Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Housing and Urban Development is with us. And over the last few years, he has on multiple platforms spoken rather unabashedly and forthrightly, putting across India's roadmap. I would like to invite the Honorable Minister on the stage and my colleague Tamanna Inamdar, Executive Editor of NDTV Profit, for a conversation here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Minister Sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us here at NDTV. I think one of the ministries you house perhaps has always been the toughest one from the Indian perspective, because the narrative has already and always been that India imports most of its energy resources. We're dependent on what happens in the world, and the average Indian then suffers at the pump. In the last few years, that challenge has increased multifold with what's happening in the world. What has been the biggest strategy in your mind when trying to manage what's happening in Ukraine, Russia, now in the Red Sea, to ensure that India is never energy starved?
What you describe as a challenge, I think also contains within it an opportunity. And I think that challenge and in turn that opportunity becomes very exciting if the economy is firing on all 6 cylinders. I'm stopping at 6 cylinders. I think we can go on to further also. Energy is the lifeline of any economy. You can make a reasonably sound assessment of how a country is faring if you just look at its energy consumption. And I'm not saying anything which is in the realm of rocket science, but if you look at the 2 huge economies in the world today, one 23, 24 trillion US dollars and the other 19 trillion dollars, you'll find that in that economy, the second one, energy consumption has either plateaued or energy imports and utilization are falling, which means there are fault lines in that economy. It's a simple assessment, I think. Now, if you look at the Indian situation, I think Maria, when she was here, she introducing us, she made 2 points which I just want to quickly build on. One is she talked about the energy trilemma. By the trilemma, I mean availability, affordability, and sustainability. And I think on all 3 fronts, we've done well. There was not a single occasion in the last several years. I've been associated with this ministry only for 2.5 years. But even if you look before that, there was never an occasion where petrol at the retail disbursing point was short, or there was a shortage of diesel or cooking gas or anything. So we managed well. But I think the real issue is how do you contain your inflation and how do you manage fuel prices? And that is where I think the Modi government deserves not just a pat on its back, but real admiration. Let me try and explain this. At a point when 800 million people or 80 crore people were being and are still being provided 3 meals of dry ration in a day, the Honorable Prime Minister was able to bring the price of fuel down. Look at the international levels. We are the only country in the world where over a 2-year reference period, the price of petrol and diesel has actually come down. The only country in the world. Why? 2 things. I think to start with, the Honorable Prime Minister decided on two occasions, November 2021, and May 2022, that we were going to reduce the central excise duty. And that brought the price of petrol down by 13 rupees and that of diesel down by 16 rupees. And the BJP ruled states reduced their VAT. So you had a differential of 12 rupees, 15 rupees between a BJP ruled state and the non-BJP ruled state. So this is the centers doing. But on top of that, you have good corporate entities or good corporate citizens like the OMCs. When the prices were going haywire around India, Sri Lanka, the prices I think had gone up by 60, 70%. Pakistan even higher. Pakistan in fact had to shut off electricity at 8 p.m. because they were genuinely short. In the United States, Western Europe, Canada, I think it went up again between 25 and 40%. And India, the prices are coming down. Because the OMCs, the oil marketing companies, decided as good corporate citizens that it doesn't matter that situation is challenging, they will hold back their profits. Something in the oil jargon called under recoveries. And at a time of under recoveries, they held back. And look what happened after that, when the situation eased. Because during the turbulence, the price of oil during the economic lockdown came down to as little as $19.56 a barrel, which is virtually free by current yardsticks, and then went up to $130. Now, this combination, that you were able to run a system which is based on very positive, decisive governmental action at the central government level, cooperation from the state governments, and the OMCs deciding to play ball. That is what resulted in our being able to bring the prices down for 2 years. And then when the market lifted up, I mean, OMCs are laughing their way to the bank now.
So you spoke about the trilemma. There is also a dilemma here. The dilemma is that when OMCs laugh all the way to the bank, a section of people say it's at the expense of the average Indian at the petrol pump. That when international...
They can't say that. They can't say that because the price at the petrol pump has actually come down.
But when the crude prices were low, the price at the petrol pump didn't come
No,
down.
I think that is selective blabber which comes from an opposition party which was in power in states where they did not bring the price down. You see, the OMCs at the end of the day are not philanthropic organizations. They're not in the charity business. An OMC, like a private sector company, has to answer its shareholders. It has to go to its board for approvals. So I think they did what they could. They brought they held back at a time of under recoveries. They still didn't raise the prices. Now when they've raised the prices, you're benefiting. But they've done something more just now. They brought the price down by 2 rupees and also 2 rupees further. Yeah. So today you have a situation that on account of those excise cuts and then account of our other decisions, diversifying supplies and further cuts now, you have a happy situation that petrol and diesel prices are more affordable than ever before.
Do you think there's room for more cuts right now?
We are under something called a code of conduct. I have a view on everything in life. I mean, left to myself, why not? But just now we're a code of conduct. I mean, any statement I make is not liable to be, is bound to be picked on and acted on.
Talking about OMCs, and you talked about them laughing all the way to the bank, when we cover what's happening with OMCs on the stock market, it's one of the biggest turnaround stories. They're some of the most valued companies. The perception of public-run companies in general, and I would say OMCs in particular, has undergone a sea change. And this is global brokerages seeing this as well. What do you think is that big change?
No, the change is staring you in the face. Suddenly the public sector, I'm talking about perception now. I can come to individual companies. I'd be happy to share one or two examples. Public perception used to be that public sector companies are like the bureaucratic setup of the rest of the government. People come to office at 9 o'clock, run away at 5 o'clock, they are risk averse, they don't go out and grab the challenges which are available. And by and large, and there are some other allegations that the oil public sector companies or the OMCs are also excessively amenable to some of the big private sector giants, that they are able to control them. I think the good news is that public sector in general is doing very well. I also happen to be Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs. HUDCO has done very well. HUDCO has got what, a Maharatna status now. The OMCs, somebody said, but the market is rising. Yeah, market is rising, but the market rose 43% and the OMC valuations rose in multiples thereof, some 120%, 160%. Why? Because they've done a good job. And in a time of crisis, in a time where there was challenge, they proved their mettle, and the marketplace, I don't use words like the magic of the market, but the market has a lot of very intelligent people who can make assessments on what is happening, and that's how valuations go up.
Right now, looking at where crude prices are going, we are seeing Brent inching back to 87. You have drone attacks taking out Russian refineries. Is this something that we should be worried about in terms of Indian exposure to international crude prices?
Look, at any point of time in the last 3, 4, 5 years, anyone who thinks that the global situation is not challenging either lives in cuckoo land or underestimates what the challenges are. The challenges have been there for a long time. The pandemic was a challenge. Recovery from the pandemic was a challenge. Then the Ukraine military conflict, we are talking about February 2022. No one is saying that there is not enough oil in the market. What is happening is that those who control the production and release of energy, that is crude oil, they've decided to cut back. Madam, the total production and release into the market prior to this phase was 102 million barrels per day. Suddenly, OPEC Plus, those who are the producers of this energy, they cut it by 5 million barrels a day. So what happened? As a result of that, you've down from 102 to 97. Ideally, if you reduce 5 million barrels a day in a situation like this, price should have shot up. But the fact that one big economy is not growing as fast, look, one has to be very careful with words. If you're a $19 trillion economy and you're growing at 2%, that's a lot of growth. But you look at Western Europe at the same time. I don't want to go into individual countries, but if you look at quarter on quarter, they are technically in a recession situation. So energy becomes a very important aspect of the economic equation. I am not worried about $87 or $85. What I would like to see, and I would like to reassure myself, that we do not find ourselves in a situation where either of these challenges exacerbates and becomes a major conflict. I mean the Red Sea, I can give you many others. My sense of reassurance comes from the fact that I believe that all the players involved in this situation today actually don't want a major conflagration. That's my view. If that view is correct, we'll be able to manage. But I'm saying something more. Even if that view is not correct and the challenges will come, India will manage better than the others. Because you've got a system now of both the domestic players and the political leadership, including now, I think, increasingly in the states, where people realize that you have to solve a problem. Recently, we had an issue in Rajasthan, where, because the BJP, before the BJP government came there, the Congress government was not willing to reduce the VAT. The difference between Rajasthan and the neighboring states, 12 rupees difference per petrol per liter. So that is one. The second is, I think we've got confidence in ourselves. When I became Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas in July 2021, there was one major OMC which was up for sale. Now you're smiling. See, I may basically mention, and you know what is. So one of the first things that I realized when I became joined the petroleum ministry, everyone I met said, "Aapko BPCL bechni hai, to hame bechiye." So my first question to myself was, why is everybody wanting to buy an entity if the entity we are selling, there must be something right in it. And On the one hand, it pains me to acknowledge this, but at the same time, I'm thrilled. We decided at our level, no sale, which is in marked contrast to the position I took on Air India. On Air India, I got up in Parliament and said, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the issue is not privatization or no privatization. Here the choice is, if you don't privatize, you'll have to close the airline down. And then that was a very good decision. Here, we said we're not selling it. You know, the first 3 quarters of the year, the profits after tax of BPCL are almost equivalent to what price people wanted to buy it at. So that shows the strength of our companies. And I mean, I was appalled. How can BPCL, which has such rich tradition and which has so much of involvement in our economy in every part of the oil equation and chain. So I'm very happy. So all these companies are doing well.
Would it be fair to say that that's an extension to the view on disinvestment overall? Why sell?
No, I don't think you can draw an inference from that. After all, the Air India disinvestment proved to be very successful and very right. Here was an entity which should never have been considered for disinvestment. But we'll put that aside. We'll put that aside. We have to make it work. And I think today that reversal of the decision is now fully justified in terms of the economic numbers we are looking at.
I just want to come, and speak to you a bit about the whole strategy India had of buying Russian oil when Russia was facing sanctions. There was pressure, there was flack from some quarters globally. We stood firm and said we will do what works for us best. As of today, do you think we still need to import that quantum from Russia? Is there a concern now there are sanctions on Russian tankers or Russian transport ships? What is the situation right now, sir?
No, first of all, I think there's a lot of subterfuge out there. A lot of things which are said make no sense to me. One is the Indian position. The Indian position all along has been, we will buy from wherever we have to buy. And our position is that our OMCs, I'm not speaking on behalf of my private sector, and I think the ratio between the OMCs and private sector is about 70-30 or so, thereabouts. So 70% of our imports are done by the oil marketing company. Their position clearly is, we will buy from wherever we have to buy. We will float a tender. It will be a transparent tender, and you will respond to the tender by quoting a price, delivery at the point of, at our ports. Brilliant. Which means that, and we'll buy from anyone. Was there ever any sanction on Russian oil? Not at all. I'm not aware of any sanction. There was some loose talk. अरे आप वहां से क्यों खरीद रहे? You are funding Putin's military machine. अरे भाई, मैंने विदेश मंत्री जी को कहा जब वो वॉशिंगटन जा रहे थे उस समय, मैंने कहा आपसे ये सवाल पूछा जाएगा तो उनको एक चीज कहना, we buy or you buy more in one afternoon than I buy in a quarter. अगर आपको वॉर मशीन के उसकी मिलिट्री मशीन को फाइनेंस करने की आपको इतनी चिंता है, why are you buying enriched uranium from there? So let's not get into that. There were no sanction. What happened is we bought less than 0.2% of our requirement from Russia prior to military conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That suddenly rose. And today it's a substantial 32% or so. Will it remain like that? Well, I have a very simple response. If we get a good price, it will remain like that. But in between, many others started offering us good rates. The Iraqis, one country charges something called an Asian premium. When they discovered that the Indians are, the guys who buy in India are very smart, they will buy from wherever you get the cheapest amount. So they stop buying from that source. So they keep shifting. On an average, we consume 5 million barrels a day. Earlier, it was roughly divided between 4 or 5 of these countries at the rate of 800,000 barrels to 1 million barrels a day. Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, and another 800,000 with all of them put together. Now Russia has entered the equation. I'm not in the astrology or soothsayer business, but I read things in the newspapers. Headline, India's imports from Russia drastically dropped. अरे भाई 0.2% था, अगर 32% से 30% आया, where is the drastic drop? So I think the newspaper headlines also don't know. There is something called a price cap. they would like you to buy Russian oil cheap. I mean, you asked me a question, you haven't asked it. Can I ask the question on your behalf?
I'm politely waiting for you to finish to ask my question.
No, no. So I'm going to ask a question on behalf. Are you unhappy with the price cap or are you happy or unhappy? अरे भाई मेरे को कोई सस्ता तेल दे रहा, why should I be unhappy? अगर वो कह रहा है इससे ज्यादा नहीं खरीदो और मेरे को सस्ता तेल मिलता, I should buy it. But there's another catch, and this is the more important. All this business about the West being very upset with India, the inside story is different. Madam, the inside story is the West said, thank God for India, you are buying Russian oils. Otherwise, just imagine, kitne 13 million barrels they produce in a day. If that 13 million barrels goes off the air, goes off the market, then the demand, then the pressure on the other oil goes up. So the West is not unhappy with India buying Russian oil, but this is a game which is partly geopolitical, where we tell each other ki acha iska ye karo wo karo. By the way, our import of energy from Russia, from US now is $20 billion a year.
Sir, but you know, the big challenge for India is to over time reduce that dependency on oil. And I would like your comment on that. What is our transition fuel? Are we moving to gas? The LNG deal with Qatar was a big one in this direction.
See, if in the next 2 decades, if 25% of the increase in global demand is going to come from India, so you're looking at a situation where your overall base and in consumption is shooting up. So whatever increases you're making in your domestic production, a very small part of that. But I can tell you with confidence, we've taken 2 very major decisions. Out of our 3.5 million square kilometers of sedimentary basin, we've opened up 1 million square kilometers for exploration. We've opened up on the data aspect completely. Now data is freely available. Earlier we used to have a situation, we used to tell people to come and prospect, and then we found oil, we say, ye to hamara sovereign asset hai. We've changed all that. Today, I am more confident than ever before that domestic exploration and production, thanks also to the cooperation of the major oil companies in the world. I'm talking about BP, Shell, Chevron, ExxonMobil, and one of them is devoting 25% of its supercomputing time to analyzing Indian data. So that's changing, and that's why people are very confident. On the transition fuel, look, we're taking our gas in the energy mix from 6% to 15%. $96 billion investment, it's happening. Pipeline is increasing. We are finding gas. We are importing more gas. We've just signed a very major deal with one supplier. We've done that. Then we are moving from there as a transit fuel. Ultimately, the fuel of the future is green hydrogen. And there, it's a good story.
It's a great story and so much more to talk about, but thank you so much for your time, Mr. Puri. Truly, India's energy transition is something the world will watch.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being supporters of green energy. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being such a lovely crowd. You have been very patient, you have been very kind, and I want you all to give a round of applause for yourself. Can you please do that? हिंदुस्तान में जब स्पोर्ट्स की बात होती है तो सबसे पहले हम क्रिकेट की बात करते हैं, और क्रिकेट की बात करते हैं तो हमारे साथ यहाँ पे 4 सुपरस्टार्स हैं जिनसे हम जाके थोड़ी सी बात करते हैं और जानते हैं कि क्या चल रहा है आजकल क्रिकेट में. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us 4 superstars of the Indian cricket team. We have Shafali Verma, we have Shriyanka Patil, we have Sneh Rana, and we have Radha Yadav. Ladies, सबसे पहले तो WPL के बारे में बात करते हैं. बहुत ही शानदार सीजन रहा है, स्पेशली इनके लिए. Not so much for you. So थोड़ी सी लड़ाई भी करवाते हैं यहाँ पे. You are a united bunch, is what you are saying, right? All right, but tell us about your experience of playing in the WPL. It has been a phenomenal season. This is the second season. What a great tournament.
Yeah, of course, हम final तक पहुंचे, so really great tournament for us, and of course हमारे Indian players के against खेलना तो बहुत ही मजा आता है. So yeah, WPL के लिए हम हमेशा wait करते हैं because बहुत 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 मजा आता है, and of course बहुत बड़ी league हो गई है, बहुत ज़्यादा crowd आता है. So thanks to BCCI for this, and so yeah, just enjoying WPL, and I hope women's sport और grow हो. So yeah.
ग्रोथ की बात अगर कर रहे हैं हम, ग्रोथ की अगर बात कर रहे हैं तो इनसे ज्यादा श्रियंका से ज्यादा जो है वो इस बात को कोई ज्यादा अच्छे से समझा सकती हैं, क्योंकि सेकेंड सीजन में ही इन्होंने WPL ट्रॉफी जीत ली, और आपके फेवरेट विराट कोहली काफी टाइम से WPL की ट्रॉफी जीतना चाह रहे हैं. आप क्या उनको मैसेज देना चाहेंगे?
Oh my God. I mean, we were all waiting for this cup for past 16 years, and we finally did it. But I think the men's team are doing really great. They're working really hard for that trophy. And we can all see that they're really working hard and really wanting to do well and get that trophy home. But I think they'll really do it very soon, and good luck for them, and thank you so much.
Wonderful, absolutely lovely. Let's also, because this is the Indian cricket team that we are talking about, let's try and get a sense of who's the naughtiest in this team. Who creates the most trouble in this team?
I think Jamie and Shrey.
All right. What a lovely conversation with these ladies. A huge round of applause for the Indian women's cricket team. Back to you, Gagi.
Thanks so much for that, Osama, and a lovely chat with the women cricketers. And remember, we are spotlighting women achievers during this Indian of the Year. Now it's time for us to put the spotlight on Woman 3. And how do we best describe our next high-achieving woman? Para-athlete, national awardee, motivational speaker, social worker, disability rights advocate, accessibility advocate as well. That doesn't even begin to describe Suvarna Raj's journey. Stricken by polio at the age of 2, she battled many odds to become a well-known para-athlete in powerlifting, table tennis, and then athletics. She's participated in 3 Para-Asian Games and won medals nationally as well as internationally. She was recently appointed an Election Commission of India ambassador to encourage those with disabilities to participate in the elections, something she's been doing for years. Suvarna Raj is a National Role Model Awardee and a National Youth Award winner. And as an access auditor and director at Sugamya, she works every day to create a more accessible environment for those with disabilities. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Suvarna Raj.
And we are back with another category. And this one is a very special one. From Oscar wins to recording breaking box office profits. 2023 was the year of highs for Indian cinema. 2023 also showed that it's a beginning of a new phase in the Indian cinema, one which was marked by deeply involved collaboration of various industries, which are about major cross-industry collaboration. Have I revealed anything, Sumit?
No. तो मारिया की बातों से आप लोग समझ ही गए होंगे कि अब हम क्या बात करने जा रहे हैं. हम बात करने वाले हैं फिल्मों की. फिल्म यूनिट की एक ऐसी शख्सियत होती है फिल्मों में जो किसी को भी अपने इशारों पर नचा देता है. वो चाहे तो एक सूखे हुए पेड़ को बहुत ही खूबसूरती से दिखाए और लगे कि इससे अच्छी आर्ट कोई हो ही नहीं सकती. तो फिल्म का जो डायरेक्टर होता है उसका ये काम होता है. आप समझ गए होंगे कि मैं किस कैटेगरी की अब बात कर रहा हूं. हम बात करने जा रहे हैं बगैर हिचकिचाते हुए अगली कैटेगरी के बारे में, और जो कि है एनडीटीवी डायरेक्टर ऑफ द ईयर.
And to give away the award, may I please call on the stage Honorable Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Hardeep Singh Puri, and Kurian
please come.
Chanda Pillai, Chief Sales Officer for North Region, Adani Cements, please, on the
Please, sir,
stage.
please.
Sir, good evening.
पुरी साहब आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है एनवेलप में विनर का नाम है सर प्लीज कम इन सेंटर
Yeah.
And the Director of the Year award goes to Atlee.
प्लीज कम ओवर एटली कितने करोड़ कमाए हैं कोई नहीं जानता है 100 200 300 इस साल की सबसे बड़ी फिल्म 2023 की जवान के डायरेक्टर हैं शाहरुख खान से नचाया है और देखने में जितने युवा हैं काम उतने बड़े बड़े कर रहे हैं
सर
जोरदार तालियां दोस्तों एटली को रोज रोज दिल्ली में देखने को नहीं मिलते हैं
And Mr. Puri, if I may ask you, when did you see the movie?
The mic, please.
The mic will come to you and then we'll have the conversation. When did you see the movie? First to you, and then I'll ask Atlee as well that you had spoken to Shah Rukh Khan and you wanted to make a romantic film, one of those, you know, Shah Rukh Khan ka typical jo pose hota hai. What changed? Why did you have a collaboration for Jawan instead?
Thank you. First of all, thank you to everyone. And to answer your question, I felt for a very long time, for 30 years, Shah Rukh has saved Mass Zone. So I think I should trigger that and present it to the audience. So he can become a voice, and he is the icon of Indian cinema to the global audience. So I thought I should carry social message to him. That's the reason I went with Shah Rukh sir on a Mass Zone.
And Mr. Puri, if I may ask you that same question, I mean, in the sense that you are a cinema buff, you and your wife, Lakshmi ma'am, regularly watch cinema. When did you see Jawan in particular?
Well, I saw Jawan, but I just mentioned to our hero here, I mean, directors are also heroes. I mean, I just told him that, I mean, I thought it was great privilege and honor for me to be handing this out, this award, because otherwise what do? You put me in the category of builders, oil companies and all that. I mean, look at this kind of creative genius here. So I was so delighted. And you know, I was in the world of diplomacy for 39 years. So I quickly told him, you know, my son-in-law is also a Tamil. No, I watched it, but as I said, sometimes you watch a film, you watch the star cast is one thing, but I think the director, as we all know, a director is to a film which is very difficult to drive. So more strength to your elbow. And may you go from, is it correct to say blockbuster to blockbuster? Is that correct expression? Huh? Laugh your way to the bank. Okay. All the best. All the best.
Actually, I have a couple of questions to you. First, how many crores? 200, 400, 600? How many crores it was? Exactly.
I think 1,160 on Tetic.
Acha, next question.
Can I ask you a question? Electoral bonds liye ke nahi? Sorry, that was on the spur of the moment.
But
that's politically incorrect, sir.
Actually, kahan rakhe hain? Where have you kept it? 1,060 crores.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get.
Don't answer it. But he's saying, where have you kept that 1,000 crores?
Sir, I'm a director. It goes to Shah Rukh sir. Red Chilli. You have to check with him.
Oh, okay, one moment now, because if you have Atlee here, how can you not have the music? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have that music.
You can do it. Please, ma'am, please.
This was the biggest hit of 2023. When you had Shah Rukh Khan dance to this, and when you created this music, of course in collaboration, because director puts together the big pie, what was it like?
Particularly about this song credit goes to Ani and Farah Khan who really choreographed really well. Farah did a very good signature, which I think most of the iconic person did, and it became very famous. And thanks to them. Moreover, I want to, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I want to thank NDTV. Dreams do come while sleeping, but those are not dreams. The dreams which make you sleepless are the real dream. This is a long time dream I had in me, and sorry for taking one.
No, take more time. This is much nicer.
So I'm from Tirupparamkunram, Madurai. Okay, from there to Delhi to get this is something else for me. So I want to thank everyone whoever supported me, and I think I have thanked them every now and then in every meetings. But I didn't thank one particular segment. So in which I think this is a very nice dais to thank them. See, when this film was in talks in 2019, Mr. Shah Rukh sir came to Chennai to meet me, and he took me to IPL match in 2019. It was CSK versus KKR. So when we were together, a photo came. And out of that photo, just 2% of positivity. Congratulations, Atlee. 98% was hatred. And the hatred is something else. Are you a right person to stand in front of him? Are you a person going to make a film? This is what we can make. So see, fans are very, very needed. Fans, they love you. But haters are obsessed with you, because fans, they talk twice a day, thrice a day, but these haters will talk even in sleep about us. Thank you, haters, and I'm going to thank you for this. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. That's all I want to mention.
God bless
And
you.
if Atlee can make, I'm just telling to the youngsters, if Atlee can make to NDTV Director of the Year, Indian of the Year, then I think anyone can make. Just focus on your dream. Go for it. Thank you.
Atlee, are you sure that you do not want to capture the signature move?
No,
Let's
ma'am.
make one more
No,
effort.
ma'am. I please, ma'am. Please. Slowly, you're positioning me as a mass director, so I want to be in that gesture, and I have to leave that. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and
Lovely.
big congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you.
I just want to compliment you once again. With that roaring success, you also have a human quality of humility. So God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank
God bless you, Atlee. Thank you, Puri sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, India's biggest heroes are those who've put their lives on the line to save the lives of those around them. Their selfless determination in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles define them as being incredible Indians.
बिल्कुल यकीन नहीं आता कभी जिस तरह से वो अपनी जान को दांव पे लगा के दूसरों की मदद करते हैं, इसके लिए अपनी जान को दांव पर लगाते हैं, न किसी पुरस्कार की उम्मीद, न किसी वाहवाही की तमन्ना। ये है हमारे देश के असली हीरो, हमारे नायक।
To give away the award to India's heroes, may I call on stage the activist, advocate, and author Bhuvan Ribhu, the founder of Child Marriage Free India campaign and the Just Rights for Children, and also the former Supreme Court Judge, Justice Sikri. Welcome onto the stage. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll just bring the envelope across to you. If you can just open up the envelope and then read out the winner of this.
You also said
Justice Sikri joins us on the stage as well. Thank you, sir.
Request both of you to announce the winners in this category.
Oh, well. How do you say that? The Silkyara Saviors.
The Silkyara heroes.
Silkyara
These were the heroes
Yes.
who saved so many lives, and their own, in fact, as well, when they dug out of that tunnel in Himachal Pradesh, after the tunnel was blocked, an incredible rescue story.
The real heroes from Uttarakhand.
द सिल्क्यारा टनल आप सबको याद होगा कि हमने दिनों तक देखा था कुछ लोग फंसे हुए थे टनल के अंदर में, और ये लोग थे जिन्होंने आखिर में जहां मशीनें फेल कर गई वहां पर इन हिम्मतवर लोगों ने हौसला बनाए रखा और 41 जिंदगियां बचाई। जोरदार ताली इन लोगों के लिए। सिलक्यारा बारकोट सुरंग जहां 17 दिन तक 41 मजदूर फंसे रहे थे और आखिर में इन्हीं 12 लोगों की मदद से उन्हें एक बार फिर से जिंदगी मिली।
Tonight we honor the bravery and tenacity of these men who are in every sense India's heroes. A standing ovation for them, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have Vakil Hassan, Munna Qureshi, Nasir Mohammed, Rashid Mohammed Ishad, and we've got Firoz, we've got Nasiruddin and Kalimuddin who are on the stage
Kalimullah.
receiving the stage. Kalimullah with this award.
बहुत बहुत बधाई आप तमाम लोगों को। हमें पता है कि आपने किसी पुरस्कार की चाह में ये काम नहीं किया, आपने अपनी जान को दांव पे लगा के ये काम किया और इतने लोगों की 41 लोगों की जानें बचाई हैं। बहुत मुबारकबाद आप तमाम लोगों को। जी, और तमाम आपके हौसले को सलाम। इन तमाम लोगों की जो तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट है वो आप लोगों के लिए है। आप में से कोई भी अगर जवाब देना चाहें, आप तमाम लोग जब उस टनल सुरंग में थे, आखिरी दिन इतने लंबे समय से ये काम चल रहा था, मशीनें वो काम कर नहीं पाई, जो आप लोगों ने आखिरकार किया और आप ही से उम्मीद टिकी थी, आपके लिए वो लम्हा कैसा था? दबाव महसूस होता था? आप में से कोई भी माइक अगर देंगे। जी।
जय हिंद, जय भारत। जय हिंद। बस क्या हो रहा है, ऊपर वाले की कृपा थी, जो 145 करोड़ जनता थी, उसी का प्यार और उसी की मोहब्बत थी, जो हमें इतना हौसला मिला। क्योंकि 145 करोड़ जनता जो दुआएं कर रही थी, उन्हीं की दुआओं से ये काम हुआ है। इंसान क्या कर सकता है? सभी का प्यार और मोहब्बत से सबने हमें लोगों ने प्यार सम्मान दिया, और इंडिया टीवी का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं जो हमें
कभी कभी लग रहा था कि ये काम नहीं हो पाएगा, मतलब वो टनल का जो स्थिति था, जो कंडीशन था, वहां से मतलब कोई बाहर नहीं आ पाएंगे। आइए।
सबको नमस्कार, सबको जय हिंद। हम मेरे दोस्त हैं वकील हसन, जिन्होंने हमें फ़ोन करा था, भाई मुन्ना 41 लोग फंसे हुए हैं, क्योंकि हमें इतना टाइम तो मिलता नहीं, अपने बच्चे संभालें या भाई कहाँ देखें, हमें न्यूज़ व्यूज़ देखने की इतनी, अब देखना ज़्यादा चालू कर दिया क्योंकि हमारा भी फोटो आता उसमें। उस टाइम देखते नहीं थे, तो भैया ने बताया मेरे को, हमने 41 लोग फंसे हुए, मैंने बोलने लगे वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ी मशीनें फेल हो गई, तो मैंने भैया आप वीडियो मंगा लीजिए और हम चलेंगे जरूर, उस काम को देखेंगे। जब इन्होंने वीडियो मंगाई थी तो मैंने इनसे कह दिया था भैया हम कर लेंगे उसे, और 24 घंटे में करके आ जाएंगे हम वापस उस काम। वैसे हमारी पूरी टीम थी और हमें बहुत उम्मीदें थी, और हम उन्हें वहाँ पे भी हमने जाके कहा था 24 से 36 घंटे में उन्हें बाहर ले लेंगे हम, मगर वही वाला हिसाब है, ज़्यादातर आज के टाइम में डिप्लोमा पे वो भरोसा किया जाता है, तजुर्बे पे कम कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि डिप्लोमा होता है।
बहुत कमाल की बात कही आपने, डिप्लोमा पे भरोसा ज्यादा, तजुर्बे पे कम। आप में से कोई और भी क्या जोड़ना चाहेंगे इस पे बात? आप में से कोई भी बोलना चाहें?
जय हिंद, हेलो एवरीवन। मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर अवार्ड मुझे इस प्लेटफॉर्म से दिया जा रहा है, लेकिन एक मुझे थोड़ा दुख है इस चीज़ का। हमने अपनी जान दांव पे लगाई है अपने देश के लिए, और आज मेरे साथ ये हालात है कि ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा मैं इस अवार्ड को रखूँगा कहाँ पे, क्योंकि मेरा घर तोड़ दिया गया था अभी, पता नहीं क्यों, डीडीए करप्शन की वजह से कहीं भी कोई सुनवाई नहीं है। मैं आपके माध्यम से कहना चाहता हूँ कि मुझे मेरा घर लौटाया जाए।
ओके भुवन जी, ये तमाम लोग जो हमारे साथ यहाँ पर हैं, ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने जमीन पर जाके काम किया, और आपसे मैं जानना चाहती हूँ, आप ऐसे लोगों के साथ लगातार काम करते हैं जो जमीन से जुड़े हैं, आप बाल विवाह रोकने के लिए आपकी कोशिश जारी है, तो ये जो जमीनी काम करते हैं कितने जरूरी है किसी भी मुहिम के लिए?
मैं तो यहाँ तक कहूँगा कि ये मुहिम के लिए नहीं, देश के लिए, समाज के लिए, विश्व के लिए जरूरी है, और इनका होना न केवल हम सबको ताकत देता है बल्कि हम सबके लिए प्रेरणा का स्रोत है। मैं एनडीटीवी को खासतौर पे इसका धन्यवाद दूंगा, क्योंकि इस तरह के लोगों को इस तरह के मंचों पे लाकर ये बता पाना सारे देश को कि यही असली नायक हैं, यही असली हीरो हैं, यही वो लोग हैं। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हमारे डायरेक्टर साहब के साथ हम एक फिल्म की चर्चा कर रहे थे, हमारे सनी देओल साहब यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं। ये वो लोग हैं जो जान हथेली पे रखकर टनल में घुसकर एक ऐसे चीज को बदलने में कामयाब हुए जिसके बारे में सारे विश्व ने हार मान ली थी। तो मैं जो भाई साहब कह रहे थे कि दुआओं का असर डिग्रियों से ज्यादा होता है, ये इसका सबसे बड़ा जीता जागता उदाहरण है। और इससे अगर हम सीख सकें, सब कह सकते हैं कि यह संभव नहीं है, लेकिन हर असंभव को संभव बनाने का काम हमारे देश के गांव-गांव में, शहर-शहर में ऐसे लोग कर रहे हैं जिन्होंने असंभव शब्द को सुना ही नहीं। आपने बाल विवाह संबंधी मुझसे पूछा स्पेशली। अभी कुछ दिन पहले संयुक्त राष्ट्र ने, यूनाइटेड नेशंस ने कहा कि बाल विवाह खत्म करने में 300 साल लगेंगे, इट विल टेक 300 इयर्स। एक और एजेंसी ने कहा कि भारत को बाल विवाह खत्म करने में 2050 तक हम 6% पे पहुंचेंगे। आपके जैसे ऐसे लोगों को मैं जानता हूं जिन्होंने 415 जिलों में 161 नॉन गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने गांव-गांव में जाके ये मुहिम चलाई और भारत में हर साल हो रहे 12 लाख बाल विवाहों में से 60,000 3 महीने के भीतर रोक दिए। अगर इसी गति से हम चलते रहे तो 2050 नहीं 2030 में बाल विवाह का खात्मा हो जाएगा। ये हम कर सकते हैं, ये भारत के लोगों में ये ताकत है और इसके लिए हमें किसी दुनिया की सर्टिफिकेट की जरूरत नहीं है।
I also wanted to ask Justice Sikri a question, sir. The spirit of service, even if it comes at enormous peril, the fact that we've got real heroes over here who didn't think about their own lives to try and save the lives of others. How is this an inspiration which goes beyond just this one story? It's something which needs to motivate so many more across our country.
I think this is one example which inspires everyone, each and every citizen of this country, because we know your TV was covering when they had gone to the pit and they were trying to save that. For it's not few hours, I mean, when it is 30, 40, 50 hours, I think it took. And all the channels were covering, as I said, your channel was covering, and what we were watching at that time, a thing which was almost, we thought, as Bhuvan has also said, is impossible. It can't be achieved. And therefore, making something which is virtually impossible and turning into possible and succeeding in that, that is one inspiration for everybody. And so therefore, according to me, these are the real heroes of our country, and we are proud of all of them.
Indeed, we are. Thank you very much for being with us and sharing your thoughts. जी
जय हिंद। ये हमें जो हीरो कहा जा रहा है, ये बहुत बुरा सा लगता है सुनकर हमें, क्योंकि आज भी हम जीरो हैं। हमारे बारे में अगर हमारे साथ देखोगे ना आप हमें, तो बस क्या बोलूँ मैं, अंदर से कुछ निकल नहीं रहा है। इतने परेशान कर दिया है हमें हीरो, बुरा मत मानना आप लोग।
नहीं कोई बात नहीं, आप बोलिए।
हीरो कह कर हमें इतना परेशान कर दिया है। हमारे घर पे मोहल्ले वाले जब हमें काम करते हुए देखते हैं ना आप, तो ये बोलते हैं तुम हीरो, ये हीरो है वो। हम मजदूरी कर रहे हैं आज भी, हम अपनी मजदूरी छोड़ गए हैं। आज हमें रिक्वेस्ट करके बुलाया गया था। जितने भी ना हम सारे, किसी पे पहली बात तो घर अपना नहीं है, ठीक है। एक हमारे वकील हसन थे, उनका भी घर तोड़ दिया, वो भी रोड पे आ चुके हैं। ये अवार्ड जो है ना, बच्चे होते तो बहुत खुश हैं हमें देखकर कि हमारे पापा यहाँ जाते हैं, वहाँ जाते हैं, वहाँ मिलते हैं। हम अब ये लेकर जाएंगे।
Now you raised a lot of important concerns which we think we need to address.
जाएंगे ना हम,
और जरूर आपके साथ हम बात करेंगे, पर आप लोगों ने जो किया है वहाँ, उसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं। और यू आर एब्सोल्यूट हीरोज, और आप जो कह रहे हैं ये जरूर हम आपके साथ इस बारे में बात करेंगे, ये अलग बात करेंगे।
सर वो तो आपको बताइए हमने क्या किया है। 41 लोगों की जान बचाई है अपनी जान हथेली पर रखकर, और आप लोगों की दुआओं से ऊपर वाले ने हमें जरिया बना के भेजा था। मगर एक किसी का जरिया, देखो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है, इतना बड़ा अवार्ड मेरे को मिला है एनडीटीवी की तरफ से, मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ जी। मगर मैं आज 8x10 के कमरे में रहता हूँ एक, और मेरे वकील हसन साहब का घर था, वो तोड़ दिया, नहीं तो मैं ये सोचता था उसी घर में ले जाके रखूंगा इस अवार्ड को, मगर वो भी तोड़ दिया गया जी। तो मुझे बहुत अफसोस की बात है, उसके लिए भी हमारा मुद्दा उठाया जाए,
और जरूर हम इस बारे में बात करेंगे। बट टुडे इज अ टाइम फॉर रियल हीरोज ओवर हियर।
ना दूध मांगोगे खीर देंगे, कश्मीर मांगोगे चीर देंगे, ऐसी मैंने कहा था, मैं पहाड़ में से 24 से 36 घंटे में सब निकाल के बाहर ले आएंगे हम। तो सन्नी पाजी हमारा घर तो
मैं आपके साथ में जरूर बात करूंगा, बाहर आ जाते हैं, आप लोगों ने जो किया है उसके बारे में बात करें। कब
बहुत बहुत आप सबको धन्यवाद देते हैं। बहुत जी, हमारी कोशिश यही है कि हम आपने जो काम किया उसको एक बार फिर से दुनिया के सामने लाएं, आप सबको सम्मानित करें और आपके काम को बार बार याद किया जाए, और हम पूरी तरह से आपकी भावनाओं को समझते हैं, और हमारी यही कोशिश रहेगी कि आगे भी किसी ना किसी तरह से हम आपकी इन मुश्किलों को और आगे बढ़ाएं ताकि लोगों को उसके बारे में जानकारी हो। सनी देओल हमारे साथ यहाँ पर स्टेज पर आप लोगों के साथ में है। अगर सनी, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहें लोगों से।
Would you like to say something?
Get the mic. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Ji.
Bhuvan, can we just, this thing, we've got other things coming up, we'll just chat in a moment.
सबको माननी चाहिए, और सनी पाजी हमारे इतने ज्यादा जो इमोशनल है, सेवा कभी किसी बदले की या किसी चीज की भावना से नहीं होती, और आज जो हमने सेवा की उन लोगों के बारे में सोचिए जिनकी दुआओं से, जिनके घर वाले आप जो जिंदा हैं आज आपकी वजह से, पहले ये सोचिए, और उसके बाद आपकी जो जिम्मेदारी है वो हम सबकी है।
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Bhuvan ji, for those words, and thank you to all of you. Thank you, the saviors of Silkyara Tunnel, and we congratulate you once again. We would definitely try and bring up the problems that you still are facing. Thank you so much.
Gadar 2 has gone on to become one of the biggest films of the Hindi film industry ever, the 8th highest grossing Hindi film of all time.
That's right, Gargi. What a fascinating achievement. With the humongous success of Gadar 2, he's also provided his timeless quality as a star entertainer, connecting with audiences across generations.
Now, yes, go ahead, Sunny ji.
Thank you very much, everyone. I think
loads of people over here who are great achievers, and I think जो भी कुछ अचीव करता है और उसके बारे में बात ना करे क्योंकि उसका फर्ज है करना, उसे मैं अचीवर कहता हूँ। क्योंकि हर आदमी लगा हुआ है कहीं ना तो कहीं कुछ ना तो कुछ करने में, कोई उसको नोटिस करते हैं कोई नहीं करते, लेकिन आज का ज़माना ऐसा हो गया कि जो भी कुछ करे उसे नोटिस करना बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है, नहीं तो लगता है कि बेचारे ने कुछ हासिल नहीं किया। खैर, वी कम फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टाइम, पापा से शुरुआत हुई है हमारी सारी, और जो उन्होंने अचीव किया उसके सामने तो हम कुछ भी नहीं। बस कोशिश करते हैं कि उनकी तरह बने रहें, लोगों को एंटरटेन करें और लोगों का दिल बहलाएं। और मैं अभी पॉलिटिक्स में भी हूँ, लेकिन मैं हमेशा यही कहता हूँ कि आई सर्व द कंट्री बेटर एज एन एक्टर देन एनीबडी एल्स और एनीथिंग एल्स आई मीन टू से, बिकॉज लोग सिनेमा में जाते हैं और ये हमेशा सिनेमा ही रहा है, इसके बाद दूसरे फॉर्मेट्स आए हैं, लेकिन सब शुरुआत सिनेमा से हुई है। ऑब्वियसली थिएटर्स वर देयर, बट लोग वहाँ जाते हैं अपनी तकलीफें भूलने, एक सपना देखने, और जो सपना हम लोगों ने देते हैं उसका नशा लेके वो बाहर आते हैं। और ये अवार्ड उन सब के लिए है जो हमेशा खुश रहते हैं और कभी किसी से किसी बात की अफसोस नहीं करते किसी चीज़ का। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Sunny ji, congratulations on Gadar to having been such a massive success. But my colleague here, who is from South India, is a huge fan. He has very limited understanding of Hindi, but
no. But my friend Atlee here, who's also from Madurai, will testify that you have a lot of fans in South India, and we still think that अब भी 2.5 किलो का हाथ जब किसी के ऊपर उठता है, वो आदमी उठता नहीं, उड़ जाता है. Whatever I said, I tried saying it right. But I have a question for you, sir. Atlee is experimented with Shah Rukh Khan. Is it time for Sunny Deol to experiment with a Tamil movie?
Ooh.
I think it's all India movie now. I think we are blending all very well right now, and I think that's the way it should be. Okay. And definitely I'm doing 1 or 2 films which are from South as well, and it'll be great because हम लोग हमारे रूट्स भूल चुके थे, हिंदी फिल्म वाले, तभी उसको बॉलीवुड कहते थे हम लोग। और पीछे डाउन साउथ में वहाँ पे लोग हमेशा अपनी रूट्स के साथ रहे हैं, and I think that's a flavor which is coming back.
Fascinating. It's election season, and I can't let you go without a political question. Who's the star political entertainer of the year according to you?
A tough one.
I think
if you can be bipartisan, it'll be good.
I don't think they're entertainers. I mean, everybody is doing what they're doing, and it's a country which has got over 140, how many crores? I think it's 140 plus, right? And they're managing the whole thing, so I think everyone is doing a great job.
Sanjay ji, would you like to ask anything?
Which is your favorite film of Mr. Sunny Deol?
नहीं, मैं पूछना नहीं चाहूँगा, मैं कुछ बताना चाहूँगा क्योंकि मौका मिला है। क्यों कनेक्टेड महसूस करते हैं हम आपसे? तो हम जिस फॉर्मेटिव एज में थे तब यादों की बारात, धर्मवीर देखते थे, तो जो बेस्ट मेमोरीज जिसको कहते हैं ना, वी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर मेड ऑफ मेमोरीज, तो उसमें जो हैप्पी मोमेंट याद करना पड़ता है वल्नरेबल वक्त में, डिप्रेशन के मोमेंट में, अकेलेपन के मोमेंट में, तो आपके पिताजी याद आते हैं। ये कनेक्शन है मेरा आपसे।
Sir, finally, who's the best dancer in the family, sir?
ये नहीं कि डांस नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन शर्माते हैं। उस वक्त लगता है कि आदमी अपने कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकल जाता है, नहीं तो कोई कैरेक्टर परफॉर्म कर रहा होता है।
Well, congratulations again, and thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now it's time to spotlight Woman 4. Today's evening is all about our women. Sania Mirza, वो नाम जिसने हम सबको बार-बार गर्व करने का मौका दिया। सुपर मॉम, टेनिस सुपरस्टार, पद्मश्री, पद्म विभूषण, अर्जुन अवार्ड विजेता और खेल रत्न विजेता। उनकी कामयाबियों के आगे मेडल्स और पुरस्कारों की लिस्ट बिल्कुल छोटी पड़ जाती है। 6 Grand Slam winner, former world number 1, world number 1 for longest duration, 91 weeks. Indian, I'm talking about Indians. 2 gold medals in Asian Games, Afro-Asian Games, 4 medals, an icon India's first female tennis superstar. She's been on so many power lists, from Time Magazine, 50 Heroes of Asia, to the BBC's 100 Most Inspiring Women in the World. She was also the first South Asian woman to become the UN Women Goodwill Ambassador for South Asia.
Well, a huge round of applause, everyone. No surprises over here. We've got Sania Mirza with us. And may I now invite back on stage Bhavin Pandya, the co-founder and co-CEO of Games 24/7, which has been a pioneer in the startup scene, having been around for 18 years. Back when the concept of startups was unfamiliar to many, Games 24/7 is the parent company for My 11 Circle, the online fantasy sports partner for IPL 2024. It's wonderful if you can get Bhavin back with us on the stage.
Please come up on stage.
Please. So Bhavin, just a quick question to you first. The support that you've been giving IPL this time around with your platform, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. And yes, we are the official fantasy sponsors for the Tata IPL for the next 5 years. It's obviously an honor and a privilege. 5 years ago, when we started My 11 Circle, we had no idea that this is where we would end up. But what a lot of people don't know is that even before our support for the IPL, we actually supported women's cricket. So we have WPL, as it's now called, the Women's IPL, but 2 years ago it was called the T20 Challenge, and My 11 Circle was the first online gaming company to sponsor a women's event of that magnitude. But sports in general has been very close to our heart. With the Pro Kabaddi League, Kabaddi is making a big presence, its presence felt in India. We've had the good fortune of working with Pawan Sherawat, who's the captain of the Indian Kabaddi team, and you know, the kind of optimism there is there with Kabaddi has also sort of is very heartening to see. And overall sport, right? It's just a phenomenon that requires you to be very determined, show a lot of grit. It's very motivating, and I think it really just helps us raise the bar, become just better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I think sport plays a major role in all of our lives.
Just one more question I wanted to know. With women's cricket, you said you're very close to women's cricket. You all are very supportive of it. What's so special? Women cricketers have done so well in this year. A lot of women cricketers are here. What's special about Women Premier League?
So what I think is very special about women in sports, that women in cricket obviously has made a big mark this year and in the last and the year before that. But women in sport is that for the longest time, sport was about physical prowess. That only if you were physically strong would you engage in sport. Now a lot of that is changing. A lot of opportunities coming up in various sports. And if I think of online gaming per se, right? There is no such barrier. Anyone can play online games. You don't have to be a man or a woman to play them, right? But even with sport now, we're seeing that those barriers are dying down. We're seeing that there is equality, there is neutrality. Both genders are being fully supported, and we fully have always supported that cause and continue to do that. And I wish the very best to all the women sports personalities in and around the world.
Well, Bhavin, stay with us. Don't go anywhere. As we bring up our next category, there are few areas in India, and he was referring to that, which are more inspirational than sport. Sport brings together 1 billion plus Indians. Our great sportswomen and sportsmen give us hope as they strive to excel.
So to give away the award for Sports Performance of the Year, I would like to call on stage the two very inspiring sportswomen we have been introduced to this evening, Suvarna Raj and Sania Mirza. Please come up on stage.
I got it. Thank you very much for coming with us. We're just breaking Suvarna to come back up. Lovely. And can I ask both of you to open this up, and you can both announce it.
The sport performance of the year goes to the Indian women's cricket team.
वाओ, खास करके विमेन्स प्रीमियर लीग ने महिला क्रिकेट के लिए एक बड़ा बूस्ट लाया है साल 2023 में। विमेन्स प्रीमियर लीग का आगाज और इसके साथ साथ ही महिला क्रिकेटर्स के लिए नए मौके खुले। WPL जो है वो बेहद कामयाब रहा। महिला क्रिकेट में एक ऐतिहासिक लम्हा देखा गया, नए कीर्तिमान बने। 347 रनों की जीत मुंबई टेस्ट मैच में इंग्लैंड के खिलाफ, सबको याद है, महिला क्रिकेट के इतिहास में सबसे बड़ी जीत थी ये।
There was a first ever test win against Australia, and the Indian women's team also won a historic maiden gold at the 2023 Asian Games, representing women's cricket. Their team this evening, Shefali Verma, Shriyanka Patel, Sneh Rana and Radha Yadav. A big round of applause once again for them. Congratulations, it is absolutely brilliant. I must ask you a quick couple of questions. Let me ask you first. In the past, there used to be serious problems about financing women's cricket. There were just no funds available. There were no sponsors available. We now have a women's Premier League. Do you believe that the funding situation is improving slightly?
Firstly, thank you NDTV for having us here and presenting this wonderful award. Means a lot. To answer this question, I think it's changed thoroughly over the past few years. We women's cricketers are also given few preference, being financially or also the opportunity for us. It's been amazing and thank you BCCI for giving us an opportunity and also giving us financially support as well.
और मैं आप सब लोगों से पूछना चाहूंगी एक करके कि आप क्रिकेट खेलने में आने का आपने सोचा कैसे? What really attracted you to cricket?
आई थिंक ये बचपन से ही शौक था खेलने का और गांव में बॉयज के साथ खेलते थे तो प्रोफेशनली इसको मैं अपनी सिस्टर के थ्रू आई हूँ क्रिकेट में। सो
जी जी, और यहाँ पे दो स्पोर्ट्स वुमेन आइकॉन हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। सानिया, आप इतने लोगों की प्रेरणा रही हैं, you know, like so many women, girls have dreamt of being tennis players looking at you, and here you have these youngsters. Would you like to tell them something, give them a message, or if you want to ask them something, how did they get into?
No, I think the moment is theirs, and I think that they are the heroes of today. And we just saw Shriyanka do what she did in the WPL, and I think it's been incredible. I actually got to know a few of the women's cricketers last year, and it was such a pleasure for me. Honestly, you know, I came from a time, because I'm a little bit older than them, that I think when I was younger, very young, if I was a boy, I would probably be playing cricket. But I was a girl, and at that point, nobody really played cricket. You know, they were not. So it's so incredible to see young women and young cricketers do what they are doing. And I wish you all the best. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Bilkul.
So, Varda, let me ask you a question. Could you tell us a little bit about how you see the expansion of women's cricket in India? You know, Sania's so right. It's just something that we haven't seen in women's cricket in the past, but it's growing, it's exploding, and it is truly a phenomenon now. Isn't that a wonderful story?
I think जब हम बचपन में क्रिकेट देखते थे तो मेरे मन में तो ये आता था कि हम सिर्फ सचिन तेंदुलकर को या फिर सहवाग जी को, इनको ही क्यों देखते हैं, क्यों विमेन क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि विमेन एम्पावरमेंट भी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। और हैट्स ऑफ टू गर्ल्स कि इन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं स्टार्ट किया है। और आई थिंक जैसे एक सचिन तेंदुलकर निकले हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं एक हमारी क्रिकेटर्स भी वो एक ओहदे पे पहुंचेंगी जहां पर हमें जरूरत है, क्योंकि विमेन का कहीं ना कहीं आज भी जो हम बोलते हैं ना योगदान बहुत कम है सोसाइटी में। क्योंकि पहली बात तो अभी भी घर से अगर प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए भी बाहर निकलना है ना तो आपको पहले अपने पेरेंट्स से परमिशन लेनी है। और वो परमिशन लेना इट्स नॉट अ इजी थिंग, क्योंकि एक लड़की अगर घर से बाहर जा रही है तो उसकी सेफ्टी की और सब कुछ की जिम्मेदारी उसकी खुद की होती है। तो ये सब चीजों को करके हम लोग इतने आगे पहुंच रहे हैं, आई थिंक ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। और कहीं ना कहीं लड़कियां बाहर निकल रही है। और मैं डिसेबिलिटी सेक्टर से हूँ, इवन विमेन विद डिसेबिलिटी सेक्टर, मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी में कोई ना कोई चीज है, बस आपको पहचानना है और आगे निकलना है।
Well, a big round of applause.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, for our star cricketers. Thank you all very much. for being with us.
थैंक यू और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, मुबारक हो आप लोगों को, और यही चाहेंगे कि आपका नाम भी वैसे ही घर घर में लिया जाए जैसे सचिन तेंदुलकर का लिया जा रहा है। थैंक यू।
Now we will be introducing the fifth woman in this category. She is a go-getter. This is the story of Shanno Begum, Delhi's first female Uber driver. Shanno Begum faced years of domestic violence, eventually rebuilt a life for herself and her 3 children. When her husband died, Shanno Begum worked many different jobs to make ends meet. Street vendor, cook and maid. But then, with the support of her children, she studied for the class 10th exams, and that was at the age of 40, and learned how to drive with the help of local NGO Azad Foundation. She has been driving taxis for more than 15 years and was the first female Uber driver in Delhi. She has also been, in fact, she has set up her own Ehsaas Foundation to teach other skill sets to others. Let's put the spotlight on Shanno Begum. Her story has been truly inspiring. A huge round of applause for her. And ladies and gentlemen, talking of women-led development, we are honored and privileged to have Honorable Minister Smriti Irani with us. And, you know, it is said that she has been a source of inspiration to one and every woman in this country. Today, she is one of the most prominent political figures of India, one who epitomizes the resilience and unwavering commitment of our government towards gender-led development. From fiercely defending BJP and the Modi government in parliament to playing a pivotal role in shaping policies and advocating for reforms, a huge round of applause for Smriti Irani, who has led many high-pressure and high-profile ministries in the last 10 years of the Modi government. She is the face of Nari Shakti. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. Aye, ma'am.
It's now time for our next category, which is the award for the most impactful social influencer of the year.
And as we know that social media has become this big part of our lives, and it's so important to use that power that you have wisely. And to give the award for the social impact influencer of the year, I would like to call on stage Honorable Minister Smriti Irani.
Ma'am, the envelope is here, so you'll have to open it and announce the award.
I am extremely pleased to announce that the social media impact influencer of the year is Kusha Kapila.
From fashion correspondent to digital content creator and now actor, Kusha Kapila has done it all.
And her personal struggles with weight loss, body shaming, beliefs on gender equality, and observant humor have all made it to her online videos. She's acted into films as well. And in a reflection of her power to drive change and shape opinions, she was also invited for the Cannes Film Festival.
You know, we don't want to ask you a question because you'll have the answer straight up. So
Well, Kusha,
why don't you talk first?
Well, you've had such an amazing journey. I remember we all used to watch your videos when you played the South Delhi ladies, and that was so much fun at the time. And it's been such a journey since then.
It has been. Thank you so much NDTV for this award today. And मेरी माँ को विश्वास नहीं होगा कि स्वयं तुलसी मुझे अवार्ड दे रही हैं। जब तुलसी टीवी पे रोती थी तो मेरे परिवार में 12-15 लोग रोते थे क्योंकि हमारी जॉइंट फैमिली थी, तो नेबर्स पूछने आते थे क्या हुआ है, पर वो भी रो ही रहे होते थे क्योंकि सब हम यही देख रहे होते थे। तो मैम, आई कांट बिलीव आई गॉट दिस फ्रॉम यू, थैंक यू सो मच। मैं ये अवार्ड कंप्लीटली समर्पित करना चाहूंगी अपने माता पिता को, क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने मुझे वो एजेंसी, वो फ्रीडम और वो एजुकेशन नहीं दी होती तो आज मैं यहाँ नहीं खड़ी होती। And yeah, thank you so
Well,
much.
fascinating. You know, what's possibly, you know, there's a great side to being an influencer and being so popular. What's possibly the flip side? What's the worst part of being such a powerful influencer?
As Mr. Attlee said, the haters, they're obsessed with you. वो सोते हुए भी आपका नाम लेते हैं, वो उठते हुए भी आपका नाम लेते हैं, वो आपके प्रोफाइल पर मच्छर के जैसे बैठे रहते हैं और हटते नहीं हैं. तो आपको याद करना पड़ता है कि एक स्वॉट लेके उनको स्वॉट करते रहें ताकि वो चले जाएं वहां.
Ma'am, how to squat haters, you may be able to tell her.
But having said that, it's so incredible, Kusha, that you use your platform to talk about various issues, body positivity, and all kinds of. You've been very frank, very honest about your various struggles, be it skin, etc., etc. And it's so important for young people in this day and age when social media is so huge to have someone who talks so frankly and talks about these issues. If you could tell us a bit about that.
I think there is no other person to be when you can just be you, right? I don't wish to be anybody else. I wish to be me because मुझे इतने वक्त के बाद ये opportunity मिली है कि मैं social media पे content बना सकूं. 28 साल की उम्र में मैंने content बनाना शुरू किया था 7 साल job करने के बाद. तो मुझे वापस job में नहीं जाना था. मुझे अपने लिए एक जिंदगी बनानी थी और I just love being myself on the internet. I think it's so easy to be myself. तो मैं वही करना चाहूंगी.
Ma'am, would you like to say something? Here, I'll give you this.
Well, I met Kusha the first time and we were both hurrying towards a plane. The only difference was that I was busy lugging some stuff. She was busy not only filming her dash to the plane, but at the same time scream, "Oh my God, Tulsi." I think what I realized today, especially having a generation stand before me, it does not matter how many Rahul Gandhis I defeat. All that will matter possibly is my creative expression. And that is why when we say that our creators are the true cultural ambassadors of our country, the social media creators today are now the flag bearers of what India can be. We have a legacy that we can leverage. We have a culture which is profound and diverse. And I think, Kusha, personally as a woman, let me say, you've been through many challenges. I'm a follower on Instagram, sorry. But you've handled it with grace. And that's what being an Indian woman is all about. You're not determined by the dress you wear or the color of your skin, but just your tenacity. So it's a proud privilege to present this award to you.
I have one last question. It's obviously election season. So I'm going to ask you the impact social influencers and YouTube influencers have on Indian polity as a whole. How has that changed? Because one generation still sees them as frivolous people posting videos.
I don't. And I think the recent amalgamation of the best creators digitally in our country and the Prime Minister paying an homage to them is indicative of the power of social media, not only influencers, creators, but also engagers. So as somebody who's cognizant of the fact that we have the model code of conduct in place, I can only say that 960 million Indians will go to vote. The largest dance of democracy in the world. But what we are privileged enough to now know is that every Indian who goes to vote has a digital identity as well. So leverage that capacity of your vote. Does not matter if it's one vote, one voice. It can be the harbinger of change. So that's my only request to all social media influencers. Encourage people to go out and vote.
Thank you so much and congratulations again, Kusha.
Ma'am, you stay with us here. Now for the award for the actor of the year. And
we'd like to invite on stage Nidhi Kulpati, Managing Editor, NDTV India, to join us on stage and also join the Minister and announce this award. And there she is.
Again, a proud privilege to announce Actor of the Year, a gentleman जो fail नहीं बल्कि pass हुआ, Vikrant Massey.
Fascinating journey. Vikrant Massey started his career in television with several popular serials, including as Bablu in Mirzapur, then films, and is also one of the most sought after digital
actors in the digital industry. That's right. His film 12th Fail has been a massive hit and won him several accolades and awards already. Congratulations, Vikrant.
All right. Firstly, thank you so much, NDTV, for this honor. And I thought that I'd speak about other things. I really didn't know that Smriti ma'am is presenting the award to me. So I just want to share a small anecdote. Life actually, as you said, has come a full circle. Back in 2006, when I was trying to make ends meet as an actor, a boy came running from an adjacent set to me saying that, "Aapse ma'am milna chahti hain." And I said, "Ma'am," she's like, "Smriti ma'am milna chahti hain." She invited me over to her set. She'd seen a couple of my TV shows back then. And she told me that, "Vikrant, you have tremendous potential. I wish you all the very best." Very gladly, she even shared her sham ka nashta with me. And she sat with me, she spoke to me without knowing me just through television screens. And I remember very, very vividly our conversation. It was a pretty long conversation. And as I said, I was trying to make ends meet. Within a month, I get a call from a production house. And I get offered a TV show, which really helped me at that time. And years later, I got to know that she was the one who recommended my name there. And yeah, so here I am, being presented the Actor of the Year award by her is a very special moment. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I did. I did. And this is really special, to be very honest. I'll just keep it very quick. 12th Fail is a very, very special film because it speaks of the India story. There are millions and millions of Manojas and Shraddhas out there. And I would really want to dedicate this award firstly to the man who brought this story to cinema screens, Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra. It really would have not been possible without him. The gumption that he has and the strength of character that he had while we were preparing for this film. A lot of people said कि ये film कोई नहीं आएगा theatre में देखने के लिए. But by the grace of God and the audiences, most importantly, the film is still running in cinemas even after 4.5 months. Shri Manoj Kumar Sharma ji, Shraddha Joshi, every single person out there. And lastly, before I go, मैं ये हिंदी में कहना चाहूँगा कि ये पुरस्कार मैं उन तमाम अफसरों को समर्पित करना चाहूँगा जो ईमानदार हैं, जो निष्पक्ष हैं, जिनकी वजह से हमारा देश हमारा संविधान, हम सब सुकून की नींद सो पाते हैं. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vikrant.
And Vikrant, if you could share some of your own struggle when making a 12th Fail. I mean, we heard you went through all sorts of changes for the film, and the risk you took, the transition from TV to film. I believe that you gave a very lucrative job, and it was quite a struggle. And today, I mean, to have this success.
I mean, yeah, I think everyone has their fair share of struggles, And unfortunately, actors का एक preconceived notion होता है कि अच्छा इसने struggle किया है तो इसको थोड़ा glorify करते हैं. I kind of refrain from doing that. But yeah, I think like I really wouldn't say that I was not happy doing TV. I did a show called Balika Vadhu. अभी हमने female infanticide की बात सुनी. I think we contributed a lot through our medium. And I had a great time on television, but I had a great time working there, but I also wanted to try my luck in films. I kind of felt underutilized, and then I had people like Smriti ma'am saying that you are meant for better things, and I took their advice very seriously. And yeah, so I'm a storyteller. I just want to tell stories. I want to represent the common man through the medium of my work. And I'm so glad that I get the opportunity to do that day in, day out.
Nidhi, would you like to ask any question?
मैं सिर्फ यही पूछना चाहूंगी जो परिश्रम आपने दिखाया और हजारों युवा यूपीएससी की पढ़ाई तो करते हैं, लेकिन स्कूलों में जो पढ़ाई के लिए परिश्रम करते हैं, आप एक प्रेरणा के स्रोत बने। तो उन्हीं बच्चों को, उसी परिश्रम के लिए बच्चों को ज़रा हौसला वर्धन कर दें, क्योंकि कईयों के इम्तिहान चल रहे हैं। अगर आप उनसे कुछ कहना चाहें आज तो।
देखिए, सारे बच्चे जितने हैं बहुत होशियार हैं, उन्हें किसी अनसोलिसिटेड एडवाइस की ज़रूरत है नहीं। बट मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा जो हमने फिल्म में कहा है कि अगर आप ईमानदार हैं, अगर आप इन द फेस ऑफ एडवर्सिटी इफ यू कैन होल्ड योर ओन एंड नॉट गिव अप, जो श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की कविता हमने फिल्म में कही है, हार नहीं मानूंगा, रार नहीं ठानूंगा, काल के कपाल पर लिखता मिटाता हूँ, गीत नया गाता हूँ। अगर हम सब मिलके ये विचारधारा रखेंगे तो जिस रास्ते पे हम ऑलरेडी चल चुके हैं, आई एम श्योर इट्स ओनली गोइंग टू गेट बेटर विद टाइम, एंड the beautiful country, the glorious country that we are definitely going to move towards better future.
What a fascinating message for the evening. Thank you so much, Vikrant.
Thank you.
Fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. The last woman of worth and achievement that we want to introduce tonight is every woman. It's me, it's you, it's the woman at the bus stand, the one selling vegetables. It's the mothers and sisters, the farm workers, the laborers, the healthcare workers in villages, and the women commanding the cockpit. It's each one of us who make up 48% of India's population. The real transformative power in India lies in the hands of India's women. Economic empowerment for women, participation in decision-making, equity in communities and in workplaces. The potential benefits are enormous and transformative both for women and society. So we're celebrating all the women here, each one of you.
And from all the men for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, bringing to you the next category, climate change. It is the biggest issue today that the world is facing, and particularly the future generation, and even today. And it's a subject that has dominated headlines in the past year in particular. Consumers, brands, corporations have made efforts towards ensuring that there is a system which is created, which is conscious. And simultaneously, what we have seen is that there are certain young activists and authoritarian influencers who have launched their battle cry on social media, rallying support.
आपने गो ग्रीन, सेव ग्रीन, एक पेड़ लगाओ, भविष्य बचाओ, इस तरह के नारे हम सब ने कई बार सुने होंगे। हम लोग जलवायु परिवर्तन को लेकर चिंतित भी रहते हैं, यारों दोस्तों के साथ खूब बातचीत भी करते हैं, अपने आसपास हरियाली को लेकर परेशान भी रहते हैं। पर क्या आपने कभी खुद सोचा है कि आपने क्या किया? सोचिएगा जरूर। तब तक के लिए मैं आगे बढ़ता हूं। हो सकता है कि हम में से कुछ लोग पर्यावरण के लिए, जलवायु के लिए, बचाए रखने के लिए, स्वस्थ हवा में सांस रखने के लिए अपने अपने स्तर पर कुछ काम भी करते होंगे। एनडीटीवी के लिए भी एनवायरनमेंट, क्लाइमेट चेंज, जलवायु परिवर्तन, मानवता को बचाए रखने का एक ऐसा विषय है जो हम सब के बहुत करीब है। हम एनडीटीवी परिवार की तरफ से तो प्रयास करते ही हैं, लेकिन जो लोग जलवायु परिवर्तन से बढ़ते खतरे को बताने और लोगों को जागरूक करने का काम करते हैं, अपने इस मंच पर हम उनको सम्मानित करना नहीं भूलते हैं।
To give away the award for Climate Influencer of the Year, I would like to call on the stage Sania Mirza.
सानिया के लिए तालियां। Thank you, Sania.
Thank you so much.
Please announce. You have the envelope.
And the mic.
And the award goes to Prajakta Kohli.
Not much of a surprise there. She is mostly sane.
Congratulations, प्राजक्ता। आप लोगों ने प्राजक्ता को बहुत टीवी पे, ओटीटी पे, कंटेंट में खूब देखा होगा। Big congratulations, प्राजक्ता। आप सब पहचानते होंगे, लेकिन ये जलवायु परिवर्तन को लेकर भी बहुत बड़ा काम कर रही हैं। बहुत 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 मुबारक हो प्राजक्ता।
और अपने अंदाज में कर रही हैं, शायद इसीलिए बहुत ही एसेंशियल है कि जो आपका रोल है, जो यूथ का रोल है इन्फ्लुएंसर्स के स्पेस में, एक अपने अंदाज में बताना, मोस्टली सेन रह करके।
सबसे पहले तो thank you so much. Thank you NDTV. First of all, it's such an honor to be in a room with all these people. मैं कुशा से भी वही बोल रही थी, मैंने कहा जितना लेट आएगा उतना मुझे बुरा लगेगा, because everyone who's coming before me is just doing such incredible work, which is so inspiring. And I feel very, very grateful that I get to be a part of these rooms which have such influential conversations happening. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Saria. This is such a moment. And my conversation with climate action actually started 2-3 साल पहले, and I remember when UNDP and I kind of got together, my first question to them was, I've not done any work in this, why do you want me to be a youth climate champion? So the first few months were actually just understanding the role that I would play as a creator in this fight that we have against climate, and very quickly I realized, thanks to my audience, thanks to this country that we are a part of that empowers creators like me to actually have a voice. I'm very proud to be from an economy that kind of gives us a platform to speak about things that matter to us, and eventually realize that creators have a huge role to play, even if it's just taking important, complicated conversations and breaking them down into tiny pieces so our audience can understand. So I am very, very grateful for this position that I have in this, and thank you, NDTV. Thank you so much.
प्राजक्ता, एक सवाल छोटा सा, क्या काम ज्यादा आसान है, एक्टिंग करना या एनवायरनमेंट के लिए अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना?
दोनों भी आसान नहीं है, दोनों के अलग अलग चैलेंजेस है, पर मजेदार हैं।
क्या चैलेंजेस फेस करती हैं जब आप खासकर अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करने की कोशिश करती हैं एनवायरनमेंट को लेके?
सबसे बड़ी चैलेंज तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कॉन्वर्सेशन इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, जितनी भी बार I had the privilege of being in Davos where Smriti ma'am was speaking, and I remember listening to her talk at the number 5 dinner, gender equality dinner, and I remember बहुत टाइम बाद I heard someone speak so simply. उन्होंने जितना बोला मुझे सब समझ में आया, क्योंकि हमेशा मैं गूगल करती रहती थी कि इसका मतलब क्या है, उसका मतलब क्या है. I was sitting and googling green hydrogen. मैंने कहा, however I worked in climate action and I don't know about green hydrogen. It's shameful, but I'm always googling. So I think storytelling, but even more simpler storytelling is important. Like every time I will leave, thank you. Every time I will leave, there'll be conversations saying, very nice Prajakta, लेकिन SDGs क्या है? Very nice Prajakta, लेकिन net zero क्या है? So I think सबसे बड़ा challenge तो वो है कि conversations बहुत सारे हैं, big numbers, graphs and pie charts, but most of us don't understand what that means. So I feel like if we could just simplify a little bit more, it'll be easier to understand and act on it.
And if you were to give some climate management tips to this audience, in a simple way.
Waste segregation, don't litter, please don't use single-use plastics, and recycle.
Thank you so much on that note.
Thank you so much.
Sania.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
Prajakta,
Sania.
and congratulations for the award.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye, Prajakta. चलिए.
और आइए अब आज के शाम का वो पल आ गया है जिसका आप पूरी शाम से इंतजार कर रहे थे, 3-4 घंटों से यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं. हम बात कर रहे हैं आज के मुख्य अवार्ड की, एनडीटीवी इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर. कौन होगा वो? क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? कोई व्यक्ति होगा, कोई शख्सियत होगा, कोई इंस्टीट्यूशन होगा? क्योंकि इस तरह के अवार्ड्स दिए गए हैं पास में, तो वो कौन सा इंस्टीट्यूट है, वो कौन सा?
तो इसीलिए हम थोड़ा ऑडियंस से सवाल पूछते हैं.
हाँ.
ओसामा और अरुण वहां पर हैं. ऑडियंस से जरा सवाल पूछते हैं कि इंडियन ऑफ द ईयर 2023 क्या कौन होना चाहिए? जरा सवाल पूछिए, ऑडियंस से व्यू लिया जाए.
Check. Hi, am I audible?
Let's take an audience poll.
Hello.
Hello.
Good. I'm good.
Yes.
Hello. I'm back, and let's have some answers from you guys.
Have we revealed anything right there?
Women तो कोई ना कोई women ही है, और I think it's a proud moment for all women.
तो एक बार जोरदार तालियां हर एक महिला के लिए जिसने हमें इंस्पायर किया है.
Yes, so it's. Let me get Madam Smriti Irani ji on the stage to give away the award for NDTV Indian of the Year. Let's have Union Minister Smriti Irani on the stage, and please Laila Tayyib ji, founder member and chairperson of Dastakar and Padma Shri awardee, someone who has worked on the revival of traditional crafts in India for years and years.
Let her come. Please,
Yes, please go ahead. Yes. You have to go ahead.
So the Indian of the Year are the women of India.
आप लोग बिल्कुल ठीक थे सुवर्णा जी कि किसी महिला को ही मिलेगा। सब महिलाओं को मिला है, हर भारतीय महिला को मिला है। इस साल की विनर है 2023 की हिंदुस्तान की हर एक महिला। हम इनवाइट करना चाहेंगे स्टेज पर बारी बारी से नैनालाल किदवई जी को। प्लीज मैम आइए, रिप्रेजेंट करिए इंडियन विमेन को। हम बुलाना चाहेंगे स्क्वाड्रन लीडर निकिता मल्होत्रा को। निकिता प्लीज कम ओवर द स्टेज। हम इनवाइट करना चाहेंगे सुवर्णा मैम को। सुवर्णा मैम फिर से आपको तकलीफ देंगे, एक बार फिर आप मंच पे आइए। सानिया मिर्जा प्लीज। आप सब हिंदुस्तान की महिलाओं को रिप्रेजेंट करती हैं, अपनी अपनी विधाओं की महारथी हैं, और इससे अच्छा ऑनर हमारे लिए एनडीटीवी के लिए क्या होगा कि आप सबको हम एक साथ सम्मानित कर सकें, पुरस्कृत कर सकें।
इसरो विमेन प्रोजेक्ट, ऑल ऑफ देम सबको बोल दीजिए।
हमारे साथ शानू बेगम भी मौजूद हैं। शानू बेगम, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू प्लीज कम मैम, प्लीज प्लीज आइए ऊपर, मंच पे आइए।
Prajakta, join us as well on the stage. It's celebration of each and every woman who's present in this hall today.
प्लीज क्या प्राजक्ता।
Yes. Ma'am, please, let's celebrate science.
इस टीम इसरो,
The team ISRO, please come.
स्मृति मैम,
Ma'am, you have to
स्मृति
start
मैम
giving
ये
the
ट्रॉफीज एक एक करके
आपको
आपको
ट्रॉफीज देना हो। हाँ
जी।
Yes. You have enough. Shanno ma'am.
सुवर्णा जी जी। हाँ हाँ क्यों नहीं। नेहा जी आप हैं क्या हॉल में? नेहा जी आपको मंच पे बुलाया जा रहा है, सुवर्णा जी ने स्पेशल रिक्वेस्ट की है। प्लीज प्लीज मैम।
Ma'am, let me begin with you, Smriti ma'am. 2023, the year of women.
I think the amalgam of women here from all walks of life, all generations, is what being Indian and being an Indian woman is all about. So they deserve the mic, not me. I can only say congratulations, NDTV. Finally, somebody has woken up to the power of Indian women and declared them.
Take this mic. Next question is coming to you.
Why only for this year, but in perpetuity, I think. Their talent is to be celebrated. To all the Indian women at home or overseas who are watching, congratulations.
लैला मैम, एक सवाल मेरा आपसे है, कैसा लग रहा है आपको इन महिलाओं के बीच में एक साथ खड़े होकर सम्मानित?
Feels really
You
wonderful.
speak on mic, ma'am, please.
Feels absolutely wonderful. But I think it must be quite scary as well for some people in the audience, because now that women have escaped the cage of societal prejudice and stereotypes, nothing is going to stop us.
From you as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I think हमें रोज आईने में जैसे मैं खुद को ये नियम अपनाती हूँ, मैं आईने में एक बार खुद को देख के जरूर बोलना चाहिए, I am phenomenal. I think जो आपको वाइब्स ये देते हैं ना, वो बहुत अच्छा
सुवर्णा
लगता
जी ने
है।
आपने बड़ी अच्छी बात की। मैं चाहूंगा एक स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन इन सब के लिए बनता है। जोरदार तालियां आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है भारतीय महिलाओं के लिए। हिंदुस्तान की हर एक महिला को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही है एनडीटीवी इंडिया के मंच पे मौजूद हर महिला।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I would request the women here to share their thoughts. Naina Lal Kidwai, beginning with you.
I think that we are now finally in an era where women can rise to their full potential that we're here to celebrate women across so many fields, women leaders who truly matter, women leaders who are the India of today and tomorrow. So congratulations to everyone, and so happy to be here in everyone's midst.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Squadron leader Nikita, your thoughts?
I would just like to say, if the President of India can be a woman can reach everywhere. So, way to go.
How fantastic. Sanya?
Well, this is working. Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. It's truly an honor to be standing with such incredible achievers, but especially the women achievers. And I may be biased here, but we all, as women, try and represent ourselves in the best ways possible in our different fields, in our different eras and generations. And I hope that moving forward, we can all together make this country even greater. And yeah, I think that, you know, we are already doing quite well, as you can see the stage. So thank you very much.
Ma'am.
Can I have the mic, please?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
It's a moment of my life to be standing with all these achievers and honoring us like this. And we have been transformed from supporting role to the leadership, because a lot of women leaders are here now, and we are going to rock in the coming years.
I'm sure.
स्क्वाड्रन लीडर, एक सवाल आपसे। यूनिफॉर्म में पुरुषों को देखकर महिलाएं खुश होती थी, महिलाओं को पुरुषों यूनिफॉर्म में देख के कितने पुरुषों के कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स मिलते हैं आपको?
सर, ये आपको बताना चाहिए. How would I tell this?
मैसेज तो आपके पास आते होंगे।
It's an honor and it's a proud thing to be in the uniform. She just told me that, ma'am, you're looking very good in the uniform. So obviously, it's a pride to wear the uniform and serve the country.
And Shannu Begum.
शानू
Your
बेगम,
thoughts?
आपको कैसा लग रहा है? क्या कहना चाहेंगी आप?
सर मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगी, पर मैं समझती जरूर, मैं अपना संस्कार निभाती हूँ कि मैं हिंदी में बोलती हूँ हार्दिका। जैसे सर ने अभी बोला यूनिफॉर्म के लिए, तो स्कूल टाइम में मैं सानिया मिर्जा को देखती रही और बड़ी होती रही, तो मैंने सोचा था कि कभी मैं सानिया मिर्जा की तरह टेनिस खेलूंगी, लेकिन नहीं खेल पाई। किस्मत ऐसी लेकर आई कि मैं ऐसे मुकाम पे आई, जब मैंने फर्स्ट ड्राइवरिंग की अपनी यूनिफॉर्म पहनी, मैं इतनी खुश हुई थी कि मैं बता नहीं सकती उस खुशी का पल क्या था। और आज भी मैं अपनी यूनिफॉर्म में ही निकलती हूँ। बेसिक मैं एहसास फाउंडेशन करके मैंने एक एहसास फाउंडेशन बनाई है, जिसमें मैं लड़कियों को ड्राइवरिंग और कंडक्टर की ट्रेनिंग देती हूँ। अभी मैं जॉब नहीं करती। बेसिकली मैं अभी भी यूनिफॉर्म ही पहनती हूँ। सारे लोग बोलते हैं, मेरे बच्चे भी बोलते हैं कि आप यूनिफॉर्म कैसे पहनती हैं। तो मैंने जैसे अभी तुलसी मैम को भी देखा यहाँ पर मैं रिपीट करके तुलसी मैम का नाटक देखती थी अपनी कैब के अंदर बैठ के, और मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था कि फैमिली को कवरिंग कैसे करते हैं। तो शुक्र है खुदा का कि पूरी फैमिली को लेकर मैं चली हूँ, और वो दुख के पल में याद नहीं करती, क्योंकि मैं हमेशा खुश रहना चाहती हूँ और खुशियाँ देती हूँ मैं लोगों को। और जो मेरे पास लड़कियाँ या लेडीज अभी आती हैं, तो मैं सबको कहती हूँ बस खुश रहना सीखो, जिंदगी अपने आप बदल जाएगी। और बदल गई, मेरी बहुत जिंदगी बदली है। आप लोगों ने तो गूगल्स देखते होंगे, तो अगर गूगल्स में डालेंगे तो मेरी लाइफ बहुत स्ट्रगल रही, लेकिन खुदा का शुक्र है, अल्लाह की बहुत रहमत रही है, मैंने अपनी जिंदगी काफी अच्छे तरीके से बदली है। थैंक यू सो मच आप लोगों का सबका। आप लोगों की एक सपना था, मेरा एक सपना था कि मैं शाइना मिर्जा के साथ खड़ी हूँ, और आज रमजानों के महीने में लगता है कि मेरी आंखों में आंसू आ जाएंगे, मैं शाइना मिर्जा जी के साथ खड़ी हूँ।
क्या बात है। मैं रिक्वेस्ट,
थैंक यू एनडीटीवी के लिए मैं दोबारा थैंक्सफुल कर रही हूँ कि एक बार मैंने किसी बच्ची के लिए हेल्प मांगी थी कि जॉब के लिए, वो बहुत नीड में थी, उन्होंने मेरी इज्जत रखी, एनडीटीवी वालों ने उस बच्ची को जॉब भी दी, और आज मुझे इतने बड़े सपने से गुजारा कि दो बड़ी हस्तियां मेरे सामने खड़ी हैं जिन्हों को मैं टीवी में देखती थी, आज साक्षात आंखों से देख रही हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच।
जोरदार तालियां
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा स्मृति जी से, एक दो कदम आगे आइए, 2 कदम स्क्वाड्रन लीडर आप आगे आइए, ये ट्रॉफी रह गई है, प्लीज, वो वेट कर रही है आपका। दिस इज फॉर यू।
So let's have a photo opportunity first, and then, ma'am, you'll have to deliver the keynote address, please.
Yeah. That's
India are the Indian of the year. That is women power. We may be coming in different hues, doing different things, but this is what women of India is. They are extremely impactful and powerful in their messaging. So this is the message that is coming from the women to all the audience and to the world, that women of India this is the turning point, I would say, as well.
and I'm the lucky one out here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, please. Shruti ji, please stay back. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Privilege.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Honorable Minister Smriti Irani for her keynote address. Ma'am.
Well, I'll only say this. It is an absolute privilege to stand in an audience that celebrates capacity at a time where there's a cacophony politically across the country. I would just like to not only congratulate the women who have received this honor, the men who have excelled, but also I think the girl who's watching all these women celebrate their excellence. My message is this. Today you saw an actor stand before you taking a prize for being tenacious and for being true to his craft. Today you saw a sporting legend not only give away awards, but you also saw on this stage a woman who was enabled scientifically, administratively, to study the sun, namely the Aditya L1 mission. Today you saw a woman who drives a cab, runs an NGO. You saw a legendary female banker, a legendary female handcraftsperson who's also a sari connoisseur. You saw women who have served in the Indian Armed Forces. And this is the message for the girl who's listening to all of us this evening. Say thank you to the naysayers. I do. Because 31 years ago to this date, I walked up to a one-storied office in a place called East of Kailash in Delhi. At the age of 17, my only dream was to be a part of a channel called Ndtv. The scruffy little man who met me at the gate not only told me to take a hike, but also told me that vagabonds like me do not belong amongst the pristine. So to all the naysayers, young ladies, say a big thank you. But today, as Forrest Gump would say, if anybody's seen the movie, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what blows you to kingdom come. So as we celebrated social media influencers like Kusha, like Prajakta, we had an Air Force officer stand proudly in uniform. That the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces is a lady is a matter of great joy, is a matter of great pride. But the fact that we still have much of a distance to travel was also exhibited. This young officer in uniform was asked, how do men look at her, compliment her, because she wears a uniform? And that, young girls, is a message for you back home. Know that what you wear will not determine what you achieve. Know the naysayers will not determine what path you take. Know your power and determine your destiny. the women on this stage today, the Indians on this stage today, have only one message for the young girl at home, that when they think of flying to the moon, they think of the Indian woman. When they think of the armed forces, they also think of the Indian woman. When they look at the president, they think of a woman. And when they look at the prime minister, they look at a champion of all things that women need to achieve their dreams, their ambitions, their goals. So if you're a champion of the ordinary Indian woman, from me, you have my gratitude. For in your championship, in your support, you are shaping equity and equality. Gratitude, NDTV. As Vikrant said, life comes full circle. Who knew 31 years ago, somebody who was shooed away by the security guard would come here and present the Indian of the Year? And that, young ladies, is the story of every Indian woman. Know that when you're written off, that is when life really begins. Congratulations, well done, I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much for that, Smriti ji, and thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching NDTV Indian of the Year, presented by Poonawalla FinCorp, co-powered by Ambuja Cement and ACC, associate sponsors, Darwin Platform Group of Companies and Games 24/7, and special partner